Hello, and welcome to another scene in Darkness over Dublin. Today, this starts at Tintagel's house, as most shenanigans do. Very odd. So, Tintagel and his wife, and the youngest troll sister, are currently sitting outside having a picnic. The gas isn't joining them, not in the, food eating festivals. Instead, the ghast is being ever so slightly creepy and standing off in a shadowy corner, kind of watching them, because she has kind of dubbed herself the unofficial shadowy Elaine guard for the dude who keeps giving her organs to eat.
I like to think that we have a little umbrella set up over her, just in case there is any residual sunlight.
And you know what? Because the wife is not in the house, you can hear the faint sounds of what might be pots and pans being hit on other pots and pans or other mechanical objects as the Wumblebots, desperate for a fight, have taken up this war as their goddess is temporarily out of the house.
Well, I need to go visit. I need to prepare the dragon's food.
3 hours later.
Yes, if he goes down to prepare the food, Crib will be very happy to see that 827 or 850, what was it, 852? Yeah, 852 is still the reigning champion with his comically sized sledgehammer.
Wonderful.
You're a kingmaker.
I was going to say I'm going to picture it's a nice day in the dreaming. So you will come upon them as they're kind of lying. Well, Tintagel is lying. He has his head in his wife's lap. He's not quite asleep, but that's fine. He's not necessarily asleep, but he is dozing. The troll is probably eating some large confection.
Ever
Most
seen
likely with pink icing.
Ever seen a cupcake the size of a troll's head?
Actually, yes, I have.
Beautiful, because that's what she's having. You'd think it would just be called a cake, but no, that is a cupcake the size of a troll's head.
Marvelous.
So, Dorum's going to, unless Crib needs to break off and immediately head into the castle, but I assume we're going to talk to the owner first.
On the way back, he detours. On the way back from the event, he will detour. He will tell you to wait, and then he will go off and grab some dross.
Fair enough. I probably needed to grab some myself. I had spent some.
I need 5 dross.
Nom nom dross.
Okay.
And then he will meet up as appropriate, and then I will let the knight do the leading.
Once we get there, he'll start walking up towards the castle. Is the picnic location visible from the approach to the castle?
Yeah, they're probably just a couple of, they're probably about 100 feet outside the front door.
Nice.
TikTok is currently being made.
Nice. Is he wearing any uniform?
He doesn't wear a uniform.
What?
He wears armor.
Catherine's
TikTok.
Catherine has put a little paper tiara on top of TikTok.
Yes.
It's so he can feel involved.
Yes.
So you're going to see Dolrum, Crib, and a Redcap all making their way up towards the castle when Dolrum spies the Count and his wife and TikTok and the troll having their picnic. He'll detour towards them, raising a hand to wave if any of them happen to notice.
As I said, Tintagiles kind of has his eyes closed on his head and is in his wife's lap, so he definitely does not notice.
And she's definitely playing in his hair. Well, just kind of like idly running her fingers through his hair.
Oh. Any chance the troll spots us?
She's currently eating a giant cupcake.
Okay, that is important. That is far more important. Yes. He'll probably call out to them. Your Excellency, right?
Technically, you would say, because I'm going to be entirely fair, you would say Your Excellencies, because there are technically two of them.
This is true. Though Oh, okay, fair enough. He knows it's your wife, so yeah. Good day, Your Excellencies.
Without looking up, or without opening his eyes, Tintagel will say very softly so his wife can hear, "That's that bargain, isn't it?"
Yes, it is, my dear.
I'll wager my last lug nut in my workshop that he wants something from me.
She will lean down and kiss his forehead. Before she lifts her head up, she will just kind of softly say, "I'll take you up on that offer."
He will very gracefully sit up and he'll kind of flick his hair over his shoulder and he'll say, "And what is it that I may do for you this afternoon, Sir Knight? Squire Cribb is here for our normal appointment, one would assume, but I had not expected to see you today."
Well, we encountered something which might merit your attention. There was a notice in the market regarding a... Sorry, go ahead.
I would be remiss if I did not offer you wine or refreshment, since it is spread before you.
Oh, quite kind of you. Thank you. And he'll to be polite, he'll seat himself, and I mean, those cupcakes are bigger than his head, probably.
The cupcakes are probably bigger than him.
Fair enough.
Nah, just the one for Catherine. The other ones are regular size because, I mean, if she ever, eats anything that large that could possibly get icing all over themselves.
Is Catherine covered in icing, Kim?
Oh my god.
She's got an icing mustache.
Mustache. Excellent.
Marvelous.
But Tintagel will reach down and he'll pour a goblet of wine for himself, and then he'll pour one for his wife. And he'll put the pitcher back down, or the decanter back down within reach of the boggin as he swirls it around in his cup. And he says, "So, my apologies. Please eat, drink, and tell me your tale."
Well, we encountered a interesting sign in the markets. Apparently, several of the Fae have gone... several of the Kith have gone missing in a specific region of the... Sorry, go ahead.
When Dorum begins to speak, Cribb will stand behind him 2 steps to the right, and he will sit. And he will look at the spread of various picnicky goodness. He will look at Catherine. He will look at Dalrum and Tintagel. And then he will just sit quietly and wait. But it is off to the back and to the right.
Etiquette-wise, he can't eat till I eat, or how does this work? Am I preventing him from eating? My etiquette is a little bit scarce here.
I think this is a player asking that they have dots on their sheet and would know basic manners, as opposed to being asked for help that is unwarranted.
Ah. No, he is sitting to the back and right as a guard. He is sitting to the back and right, denoting that
Oh.
he is
Rank. Okay.
he is lesser in rank to you, and he is letting you take charge. He is on your right hand side, being in your to as a sign of good favor and trust, and he is watching out towards the left. It is posturing and proper.
Okay, cool. In that case, to continue, what he's basically going to tell you is that they found an advertisement in the marketplace which described 6 missing persons, Kith, who had gone missing in a specific part of the Dreaming, a place known as the Stone Whisper Woods, I believe, or something to that effect. However, 3 of them were 3 were Piskies. Upon further investigation, it seems these disappearances have been going on for a long time, years, potentially decades, potentially longer. Upon closer investigation, when we arrived, there were quite a few individuals who had been turned to stone. Some people had returned from this place, but most of those who had, apparently, supposedly all of them, had been ill with some sort of disease, and their veins turned black, and then they began to petrify from their toes to their head. And then after being stoned for a day or so, they crumbled to dust. Whereas when we went to the region in question, they apparently never crumble. They're maintained there. Apparently, the lady who owns the place refers to it as her garden, and she has a large creature, which may or may not be a basilisk. She kept herself veiled. She was very creepy. There was very odd effects in the area. Crazed laughter. Creepy shit, basically. What was weird is that the individual in question seemed to regard that place as her eminent domain and essentially considered us to be trespassers and all others who had come there trespassers. Oh, and by the way, the reason people keep going to this region is there's supposedly some sort of artifact there called Destiny. And a lot of people keep wandering there searching for it. It's apparently super popular.
Tintagel he'll listen as he sits there. He'll sip his wine. He will cut a cupcake in half. He will give half to his wife and put half on a plate. And he will kind of gently eat it. He will then he'll quirk an eyebrow, and he will very casually turn to Crib, and he will say, "Squire Crib, do you corroborate everything that Sir Silver Peak has told me?" And are there any details that are of salience that perhaps may have slipped his mind?
Apparently, people have been going missing in the Stony Whispers Wood for the better part of a year. At least what we could gather from the one who put out the notice, and all of those who, best as I can recall, that had gone missing on this particular notice were in service to an issue named... I'm sorry, the name escapes me. It is foreign and not something I can remember.
I think it was like Zelenor or something, OC.
And yes, there was a a garden of stone, this whole forest, every tree, every leaf, every branch made of stone. As we searched for one of the names we had, which I would recite, but I forgot to put it in my memory log.
Same.
We were granted a will-o'-the-wisp by her, the Kim.
I know her name.
Countess Minuet ap Scathat. Knee Scathatch.
Countess Minuet Niskathach, bestowed upon...
He will raise his hand to silence you, and he will say, "And what price did this lady of House Scathach demand?"
I was not in the room during negotiations. That would be for Sir Silverpeak.
I thought he was, but okay.
Nope, I never said I entered the room.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, Dorm will say, "Well, I am to craft a silver bowl to aid her in her scrying attempts."
Do you know, Sir Silverpeak, who Lady Minuet is?
Should I be really in politics at this point? Because, I mean, I know her title and house, but it seems like he's referring to something specifically.
That would be a Kim question.
You can roll it, yes.
Okay. What would the diff be?
Standard.
Okay. One success.
With one success. With one success, you would know that she had come in with a group of 13 Scathach, who, when there was some really bad Baylor activity going, well, actually, no, it wasn't even bad Baylor activity. There was a troll Scathach who had fucked up. And it was rumored that he was going to be removed from his house. So a small group of 13 Scathach had come to pretty much pass trial on him. And then before the trial could be done, he was killed. And there was rumors that his body, which was returned to the Scathach, was found in a bog. 11 of the Scathach returned to their territory. 2 stayed. One of them is Minuet, and the other one is her elusive bodyguard that is only known as Aegis.
And okay. He'll digest that in his head. I know her rank, her name, and her house, and what business brought her to the city. Beyond that, perhaps you could enlighten me?
Do you know what an oracle of House Scathach is?
That is her title, and her abilities lie in that department. She knew we were coming.
He will a kind of a bemused look. It's, kind of like one of those "oh honey" looks. Kim, hang on, I'm not southern enough to do the "oh honey" properly. Kim, help.
Oh, honey.
There we go. Looks, and he will say, "You dance a very dangerous game, Sir Silverpeak. She is a killer of men." That is what she and indeed House Scaffatch do. An oracle, as I'm.
You guys, so my entire dresser might have just like tipped over, so I'm gonna have to go for a little bit. If y'all need my name, just scream it really, really, really loud. I'll hear it from my headset.
Okay.
Kim, how did you break your room?
Bro, I don't know. Like, hold on. Let me just turn on my camera so you guys can see this shit. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Like, the entire thing just... like, okay. Let me shine my flashlight because I had my light turned off. Like, it just fucking tipped over.
Oh my god.
All of my shit is on the floor. So,
Oh, sweet Yeebus.
yeah, no.
What the
happened?
fuck?
I don't know. I was just sitting here and like I had my leg propped up and like okay, it's never done this before. Like I wasn't putting my leg down like really hard or anything. And then like all of the sudden it just tipped over and so I've gotta fix it.
It looks relatively.
Kim, fix it.
Oh,
Fix
sweet.
it, fix it.
I know it's bad. Anyway, yeah, if y'all need me, just scream my name like really loud. I'll hear it from my headset.
Let's see how this works. Kim! Kim! It doesn't work.
What?
Oh, it
Hooray!
did.
Yes, it
We
does.
were testing.
I think. Oh my god! I think one of the legs fucking broke off. Oh Jesus! Oh no!
Sounds like someone needs a new dresser.
And my water cup was on here, so now I've got like water all over the floor.
Well,
Oh, no.
to IKEA with ye.
If you need a quick fix, depending on how badly it broke, just remember heavy books are always good to prop under something like that. If you got any heavy books.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not a
Um,
massive idiot. I know this. I once repaired my bed with like 3 dictionaries.
We're just trying to help.
I promise I live in the South. I know a lot of jury rigs. I worked at the zoo, and let me tell you, there was a lot of paper towel and tape bandages.
Kim, go fix the things.
Go fix the
I'm
things.
fucking trying!
We'll shout if we need you.
Like this. Kim!
Damn it!
See, I have the defense that she loves me.
Marvelous.
Okay. So, in response to what you, I think you got cut off there. You're going with the killer of men.
Mm-hmm. There are only a handful of them in the world, I'm led to understand, and they are potent.
Oh, it was made very clear to me that she does not enjoy. How does one phrase this? She tends to prefer to be very direct in her dealings. I may or may not have dodged a small dagger that was thrown out the door as soon as I opened it. So apparently she wasn't entirely certain I would dodge it, so I guess I must have surprised her.
Was it just the pair of you?
Oh
Who
no.
went to?
No, there was another gentleman, a different red cap. This, by the way, is one of my associates. You may or may not have seen him at my hotel, Calmoth Cindertooth. But a different red cap came into the room with us, also a commoner, by the name of Byron Morningstar, I believe his name was. And
Isn't that the simpleton with the dripping gauntlets?
yes, and he
Crib nods.
let's simply say that he tested her patience too far. She did refrain
In
from
what
killing
manner?
him. Comments were made of a unsavory nature, and on top of that, he offered her service, to which she simply said, "I don't need you. I have," and then very, very well-armored woman entered the room. Her associate, I'm led to understand. And he continued to push the point.
I see. If one may ask, what did he say that was so distasteful?
Oh, see, I honestly don't remember. I think there was something like in normal circumstances among equals, it might have qualified as flirting. But when you're a commoner in a room with nobles and that noble ain't in a good mood.
Crib will kind of like lean to the side as if he has something to say.
Squire, if I intended you to stand on ceremony, I would be receiving you in my court hall as opposed to being rather comfortably splayed upon a hillside. You may speak when it is you desire to speak.
He offered his services and loyalty in moments of... and he kind of like clears his throat. Strife.
I sense that was not his wording.
That was not his wording. I don't remember it, but it was essentially, I'll break some legs for you if you need me to.
He disgraced a lady of House Scaffach by offering his lowly, brutish... Well. I'm not impressed.
Nor was she, but she did allow him to live to flee her sight, at least. And
she is more generous than I would have been.
Yes. After I'd bargained for the... he describes a mild treasure. It was like a stick. You break it and it does summon Wisp. After I had bargained for that, we departed, went there. There were one or two other things that might have more significance. The center of the woods has a massive stone tree, the likes of which I've never seen. Truly, it was at least a mile across at the trunk. And there was a lair, I believe, underneath the tree, for that is where, or perhaps it would be better to say the lady's home was there, for that is where they emerged from.
I do believe you are jumping ahead in the story.
See, I thought we'd already done... I thought this was fill-in details that we may have missed, not do the whole story, because we already did the whole story. But okay, go ahead.
He had... Sir Silverpeak had negotiated for this treasure, and we had gone from the market back towards the forest of Stony Whispers. Austin, the player does not OOC remember where this particular item lies, and as on our journey we were harassed by a voice out of sight. Both the Red Cap and Sir Silverpeak were concerned it might be a Tanui to
a Taito, but I don't believe.
They both seemed assured it was not that, but it was some sort of chimerical being that just proceeded to hound and harass. Nothing major at this point, but we moved through, and when Dalrum speaks, he stops.
No, he's not going to try and he's not trying to interrupt you. Dalrum's pretty damn polite. He's not going to interrupt you unless you say something that pisses him off or something. He's not going to interrupt you, or that sort of thing. So continue.
We reached the edge of the stony forest, and the whole area made of dark gray stone. We were in search of a number of 6 women, 6 Fey women that the Eshu had sent us upon to find. And Dolram, using the treasure he bargained for, found one of the 6. And he is correct, we did find a massive... As we followed the wisp into the stony wood, we found this massive tree. It was enormous. The base ran from curve to curve. And as we began to make our exit, we had discovered that this was not a place of beast or kin. This was a home, a haven, someone's safety and domain.
There was also 2 things to add now that the good squires jogged my memory here. First, regarding the mysterious voice we encountered, to be quite fair, it only antagonized the Red Cap, and only because the Red Cap had said some rather foolish things regarding the death of all the spiders recently.
What did he say?
Well, we found quite a few of their bodies, the chimerical variety, as we were walking through the forest. I remarked that it was rather sad that all of the spiders had died. After all, the little ones there did not necessarily deserve their fate. And he argued that they would, in time, become larger and a threat. And I said that not all spiders were likely to become such threats. Many of these spiders simply exist at that size. Not all spiders become the size of houses. He tried to tell me that I was using Autumn World science that had no place here. The voice found that as distasteful as I did and corrected him.
Allow me to make this abundantly clear, gentlemen. Tintag will say as he places his wine goblet down. I will personally ennoble anyone who brings me the information as to what befell the spiders. I will grant them baronial titles and their own freehold, if that is their wish. I will build it myself for them from the nothing, in exchange for the information on who it was who caused the spider's demise. I am very interested in this topic, as they slew an entity under my protection in whatever fell blight it was that befell this fair land of ours, and I will have justice.
I give you my word, if I discover anything about it, I will inform you directly.
He will bow his head and nod.
Good. Continue your story.
The only other thing of note was that, or at least that I can name offhand, along with the tree, there was a very odd statue of a woman with wings, very large, and she held a bowl which seemed to be pouring forth molten gold. By far the only thing with color in that entire place. Many of the statues were in the molten gold, being covered by it.
A giant, perhaps. A rare kith, but they do exist.
The statue was of a woman. She was 15, 18, 20 feet tall. My judge of distance and height aren't the best. She was tall, but had a wingspan 3-4 times the size of her body, maybe larger. And out of this was the molten golden liquid. That
I would need to,
fell-
of course, see the golden liquid to ascertain what it is.
Of course. But it is in the domain and home of and he struggles, and he searches for the word, and he kind of thinks, and it's one of those, he goes to speak and then he stops, and then he goes to speak and then he stops, and then he's what I believe to be a denizen.
Sorry, what you believe to be a what?
A denizen.
What reaction should that word yield, if any?
How? Denizen is almost exclusively used for the a response as a name or title response for the Adhene.
The Shadow Court?
No, of the Adhene.
What are the Adhene?
He will place down his goblet. He will say, that is a very... Oh, sorry, continue. Continue, Ross.
Adhene are to Fomori what changelings are to the Tuatha. They were the bad guys on the other side of the War of Trees.
Oh dear. Okay.
Very gently, Tintagel will leave his wine glass down and he will say, that is a grave accusation. I do not think that you are necessarily wrong, Squire Cribb. However, the ancient enemy.
When, as we were preparing to leave, the woman in question, with her face hidden from sight, informed us that we were trespassing and so on and so forth. I believe any remote possibility of peaceful dialogue ended around the point that that same red cap began to I believe he was attempting to unleash something or awaken some sort of bunk. But, well...
Make a mental... He's going to... I know Jim isn't there, but he's going to turn to Catherine. He's going to say, make a note. I'm going to cut off his hands for his own stupidity. Continue.
Mental note made.
After that, it was very difficult to talk our way out of that situation, but I believe she decided... I honestly can't make a guess as to what her reasoning was, but she did let us go.
So, this troll, if it is indeed a denizen, it placed not only... this red cap, my apologies, placed not only you gentlemen in mortal danger, but could have thrown everything in this section of the kingdom into utter chaos, should that being have taken offense and decided to be more, shall we say, outward motivated than it currently is.
Yes, and
Cribb's just gonna, like, matter-of-factly nod. Like, yeah, it could have gone... There's a very much of... It could have gone a lot farther south than it did.
Oh, yeah. And, also, it bears... Sorry, go ahead.
He's going to turn to his troll just a moment. He's going to say, and his tongue, too. I'm going to cut out his tongue. Continue.
There was something else of interest. In that day, I met two people who apparently knew I was coming. The Oracle, I can understand. It's, as you say, her title, her vocation, and so on and so forth. But this entity apparently knew we were coming as well and had been following our tracks since well before we left the markets.
And who was this?
I'm sorry?
And who was this?
The woman who had her face obscured. She knew we were coming. Made some very detailed observations that made it very clear that she knew we were coming.
I see. Interesting. I think that Lady Minuet would have done the dreaming a favor if she had simply ended this fool's life before they could have endangered everything that surrounds them. However, there is the matter of the interest of this area, not just the ability to have the stone statues revivified. I must admit, I am interested in this molten gold and my understanding of it, and why it is that it is there. And also, if this entity is indeed a giant, as I said, they are a rare kith, but I wish to see them myself.
If the women... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, continue.
He was going to say, if the men and women there could be rescued, that would be for the best. Damn it, I had something I was going to say. God damn it.
They don't deserve rescue. They violated hospitality and domain. They were not acting to shield from someone from banality. They were trying to steal something that belonged to someone.
It is, however, possible that they, like us, did not realize that whatever this item was, that it belonged to someone. Or, for that matter, that
still have dire consequences.
That they do, but I don't...
That can't be overlooked.
He will contemplate as he will take a strawberry, and once again he will cut it in two, and he will place he'll place half of the strawberry on his plate, and he will then eat the other half of it. Before he will say, "You are indeed correct, Squire Crib. However, ultimately, I will correct me if I'm wrong. However, okay, Alston, you know a lot more changeling history than Evan knows. So the Adheen are essentially the Fomorian versions of the changelings, yes?
Long and short, but yeah.
Yeah. Are we still technically at war with the Fomori and all of the things that they spawned?
That would be an ST question, depending on the chronicle they're running, but...
A second. Kim! Zool, motherfucker!
Zool.
Kim.
But,
I think somebody should just poke her. I'll just poke her on Facebook. Give me a second.
She may have stepped out of the room or something.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, yes, but it is not mandated by the Ashik we save them or rescue them.
Also, does right of hospitality and so on, does that apply to someone who does not actually have rights upon the land that they're on? Like, essentially, if they're squatting? Because she is in a kingdom. And
No, she is not in the kingdom. She is in the dreaming.
Isn't it the portion of the dreaming that's right within the... That's like...
We have question.
Questions.
Okay.
Have you fixed your room?
Yeah.
Is safe?
Technically, yeah, but I lost something kind of valuable to me, and I'm like low-key pissed.
Oh no.
What was it?
Dried rose that I got off of my grandmother's casket.
Oh no.
Oh,
I had that
dear.
hanging. I had it hanging on my mirror, and when that fell, it fucking crumbled.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Condolences.
It's it's fine. Like, I mean, it's not completely gone. Like, I still got a stem and like a couple little petals, but it definitely don't look like a rose no more. Anyway, uh,
That hurts. I'm sorry.
what
I'm wounded.
what's
I mean,
what's the question?
we can postpone the scene if you want to have a
No,
few.
like, okay. Like, it at the end, it was just a rose. It was just a dried rose.
Kim, your feelings matter. If you want some time, it's entirely okay.
No, I'm not gonna mourn over a rose.
Tintagel was curious because the point was raised and we didn't know the answer, so we have to ask. Technically speaking, would the Adheen in your chronicle still be considered the enemy of changelings if they were to exist?
Mm. Mm. Okay. They would probably be similarly on the same branch and vein as a Fellain. They are kind of just a little bit better. They're not exactly hunted down and killed, but given their history and everything, they're not exactly well liked, and some people aren't. Some people are just kind of like, "But fuck you." Um,
Also, Kim, gigantic statue with a gold running out of it for a start. Thank you, because I did need that.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I did. Thanks. But what lore should I roll? Because Tintagel thinks it's a giant, because I think giants are a kith. But I'm wondering what lore I should roll to maybe try and think what that might be.
Um,
I can also roll remembrance if it's easier.
yeah, you can go ahead and roll some remembrance.
Okay. And a little bit of doke, but not too much. You don't want to spoil yourself on doke.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls, rolls.
Rollin', rollin', rollin'. See them bones are rollin'.
That is sad. Those ones, though. Mm-mm. Should I spend the willpower and roll a difficulty 7? Do I? I want to know this, so yes, I will spend that willpower and reroll a difficulty 7. Two successes.
Okay. Sorry, just let me get my thoughts together.
No worries. Take your time. Actually, I tell you what. Shall we take a very short break? Because I have to go get a drink anyway.
That's up to you.
Okay, let's because I should probably go to the bathroom and get a drink. So we'll just take a short, kind of 2-3 minute break.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can do.
So, Liam, while we have a minute, you're
That
not Liam,
is.
Austin. I'm going to get names right. Don't worry. So, Austin, here's the thing I'm running into. My character's Darwan. He's all about hospitality. He's not like going to be like, yo, screw your hospitality rules, because, Darwan. But he also has that part of him that's like, those people are suffering and shouldn't be suffering. or at least if there's a way he could finagle to get them out of suffering, that's part of his nature. That's one of his legacies. Not his active one, but still.
How exactly you know they're suffering?
They could just be in pause button.
They could be, yes, but there are indications that they are suffering.
Like?
The voices through the trees.
That could be the local realm.
It could be. We don't know.
Oh.
But if it turns out they are, basically he's looking for a legal loophole, like, well, yes, but
that doesn't happen when it comes to enemy combatants.
What's the topic of conversation?
Trying to find a way to reconcile being Darwan, really caring about hospitality rules, and yet not wanting a bunch of people to be stone statues forever because, that sucks.
We have an entire section of our house dedicated to murdering people.
I mean, there are Sealy among us, just saying.
There's an entire section of our house dedicated to murdering people.
Yes, and there's another
On a side note, guys, just a second. Kim, do you exist?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
Alrighty.
I would like to point out, Kim is legitimately trained now to find the opening of soda amusing.
I'm going to have to go get a can at one point. For
It's
science.
Stop telling my weakness. Stop telling my weakness. I haven't got him.
Right. But
Well, considering I trained you, I'm like, yes, this is Kim.
I will also BRB real quick.
Tintagel is going to shrug, and he's going to say, "So, what is it you want from me, Sir Silverpeak?"
Are we waiting for Austin to come back, or?
We can if we want. I don't mind. I have to write a whole bunch of shit on Kim's made sheet.
What that's supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Do I have an arrangement now?
No, somebody's going to have some nightmares tonight, Jim.
That's fine. I got the Lord at my back.
You do. And in the moment when you channeled everything into the strike, you almost felt as though there was literally the hand of an angel upon your own hand.
Blessed be.
Kim, blessed be shenanigans. Oh, also, you now have to make the rote. You also have to roll the learning of a rote, which is going to be called Priestly Snatch.
Look, I thought it was a magical snatch.
No, Priestly Snatch.
Okay, so I got priestly snatch, and then I got to get priestly pimp slap.
Snatch.
Snatch.
Also, I really like how Tentagel's like, oh, every time the Bakken comes, he wants something. When it's like, wait a minute. The first time he came there, it was, hey, let me do you a solid and get you one of those ingredients at no cost. And then the next time was, let's go to a party, and then I helped drag your ass out of there and rescued your wife.
Tintagel just convinced the entirety of Boggins as a kid wants something from him.
I mean, that's not wrong. From everything I read about Boggins.
But yes, Kim, Priestly Snatch. Because what you essentially did was formed a gravity well behind him and just went yoink.
I did. Because I can do that with Forces 3 and Prime 2. I've been waiting.
Know what you can also do with Forces 3 and Prime 2?
A lot.
Every success multiplies the amount of distance you can jump.
So I got potence.
Essentially, think of it like this. The first one would double your jump. Then the next success would double that double's distance. Then the next success would double the already double's distance.
Mm. But then I'd also have to use it to make sure I did a soft landing and like I wouldn't just go splat.
Yeah, that would be a completely different effect.
Like I could jump. Not gonna admit that I'm gonna be able to come back.
The Archbishop did that once. He did a superhero landing on the church floor just because he could, because technocrats are running into his church.
Yay.
Beautiful.
See, Kim, is he or is he not like the best guy ever when you're in his good books?
He alright.
On the bright side, there are only 3 demonic artifacts that need to be recovered. One of them is the Staff of Sun Wukong, the other is the Book of Kells, and the third you have absolutely no idea.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I got like 5 days. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I got this. We got this.
I'm gonna be working for most of it, so I won't be too much help, sadly.
Kim, Snage.
Snage.
Do we have an Austin?
Not yet.
Darn it.
I will pay good money if he's just gone to get soda to torment Kim.
And
Kim,
then
drink more
suddenly,
soda.
no.
However, I have a theory, Kim. Kim, do you have money pieces at the moment?
Slightly.
You should go to next time you're in a store, buy a can of cola or like soda or something, and open it and see if you find it funny.
No.
Because you're afraid you will.
No, because I don't like drinking soda. And I'm not gonna waste my money buying something I don't like to drink.
Well, poo to you. You with your water being all boring and watery.
I mean, look, I can't just be like some people, just constantly drinking Coke. Because, I go to class where, my arm has to be used for sticks.
And back.
And, without water, a lot of it, your blood isn't, exactly the best at flowing.
Welcome back.
So, Tintagel is going to kind of contemplate for a moment. By the way, Kim, how long has it been since I dispatched the 2 trolls?
When did you put it in your blue booking? Like last night?
Like last night.
Okay, I'm gone.
Oh my god, Karina's coming.
Um,
It's about to get real.
but anyway, with your 2 successes,
Oh, yeah.
there was indeed a very... She wasn't exactly mean. She was pretty benevolent for a 15-foot giantess with a 60-foot wingspan. It's pretty nice. She also has a giant-ass sword and was known to decimate, like, a lot of people in one strike because giant sword and 15-foot tall giantess. It was pretty cool.
Tintagel is sad the fact that giants are now a rare kith. They were nice people.
Oh.
I feel like the Norse Fae may have a different idea.
Yes, but that's because you believe silly superstitions that are wrong.
I mean, says the man that grew up around Christianity.
I grew up on Arthurian legends, sir. That is what Tintagel believes, but yeah, no, gentlemen, you're actually kind of right.
Oh, so Christian legends about a man that committed incest and died.
Oh my.
I mean...
Oh, bother.
Shade aside, Karina is approaching.
Oh god, oh god. Oh.
This is gonna be good.
He will cut another strawberry. He will eat half of the strawberry. He will put the other half of the strawberry onto his plate. And he will say, "Oh, this conversation is a silver mount. Or was it, what's his name? Just
Silver
Peak.
Peak.
My apologies. You have yet to say what it is you want from me."
In all honesty, Your Excellencies, I wasn't hoping to ask anything of you except possibly your insight.
I see. For the record, I was indeed correct.
having searched my memories. Kim, do I remember the giantess's name? I know I have to ask you for a name, and I know how much you hate when people do that.
You know what? No. Fuck you. You can't think of the name.
God damn it,
It's
Kim.
Kim. Her name is Kim.
No,
That's
it's not.
fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
The name is not Kim. Excuse you, Tim. You do not run this venue.
Damn.
Should her name be Kimberly?
Would.
From now
No.
on, her name is Kimberly.
It is not. It's this big ass fancy name, but you know what? You didn't remember it because you didn't get 3 successes.
Damn.
Fine. You'll say, I seem to recall that there was a giantess fitting that description, though. She's been absent for some time. Very well. I will go. Simply to see this, and I'm curious as to the nature of this treasure. I'm also curious, the bounty board offered what in by means of payment?
There was no bounty for the woman in question or her pet, since there was no knowledge of her existing there.
I'm talking as to the return of the individuals.
It was to OC Kim, wasn't it? Basically, hey, if you
20
find
draws
out what happened to them.
20 draws per confirmed identity.
Yeah, didn't we?
And
we already got paid.
No, it was.
find out
It was-
what happened to who.
Yeah, it was 20 draws per each person that went to go figure out what was up.
Ooh, okay, so it's already been done.
Oh my god. Okay. I'd like to let Kim know real quick. So I looked up what a giant roughly is in Norse mythology.
Yeah.
A giant is referred to as a Jotun, which is also the word for Fomorian.
Yep,
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
they're fucking
So,
ice giants.
all right.
Yo,
Karina, upon hearing this, going to look over and say, where is this giantess?
Cricket.
I think that Tim died mid-sentence.
I heard where is.
I heard, where is this
Or,
giant?
yeah, she just asked where the giantess is. By the way, she has the most sus of sus faces as she's asking this question.
Super sus face?
Yeah, like I'm about to murk a motherfucker sus.
I mean, you could stab like her toe
We lost Evan.
if it wasn't like stone.
I will wait for Evan to get back before I give my response. So
Fair.
that way, if he opts to say anything, he can say stuff.
Because Karina's about an inch away from saying, "Why is she not dead?"
She might be.
Her second question is, "Why are we not dead?"
Tintagil's going to stand up and casually brush himself off. He's then going to extend his hand down to give his wife, it's the polite thing of, helping the lady up.
She's totally snacking on that other half of strawberry as she gets up.
That's fine. He kind of left it on their joint plate for that reason. And he'll look down at her and he'll say, I'm going to see to it that I wish to see what these gentlemen have described with my own eyes. So I'm going to be leaving. I will leave Catherine here, should you need anything, my dear.
Do be safe. I expect you home by dinner.
As you wish. He will kind of quirk an eyebrow, and he'll say, one moment. He's going to pick up his wine glass, and he's going to put his finger on the top of it, and he's going to maneuver it around 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. Then he's going to rotate it a different way. He's going to rotate it. He first was clockwise, now it's anti-clockwise. And Kim, I'm going to try and tattletale for the 2 missing, well, not missing, but for the 2 trolls who are very late and who, if they're not home for dinner, my wife will have a grumpy face.
Mm-hmm. She has also been to the Katrina, by the way, but she doesn't tell Tintagel what's going on down there.
Do they stop when she enters the Katrina?
Hell no! They're like, oh my god, we must win in order to please our goddess. So she may smile favorably upon us.
Welcome to Tintagil's house. It's ever so slightly batshit.
Evan, you're really quiet.
Welcome to Tintagil's house, where it's ever so slightly batshit. So Kim, what for my finger kind of tracing 3 times clockwise, 3 times anti-clockwise, and saying their names? What bunk level do you give me?
I think -2.
Awesome. So that will be that and that and skadoosh. 3 successes, Kim.
So you don't really see them. You see some cocoons though, which is odd considering all the spiders were supposed to be dead.
There is a deep, lasting sigh. Kim, important question for Tattletale. If they were dead, I take it the Tattletale wouldn't show me them.
Yes.
He's going to sigh deeply, and he's going to say, "Gentlemen, you may now consider my offer to be increased. I will give a baronial seat, a freehold, and 100 dross to anyone who can tell me who killed the spiders. And I will make it so that they will have a very... I will even forge them a treasure of their own liking on top of that, in the event they bring me their head."
Done, and thrice done. That is a king's ransom, no mistake.
He will nod.
Oh dear, did you just... okay.
Yes, I did.
He will nod. He will bow. So I have a wish coin that I'm gonna cash in later.
Oh my gods.
Okay.
I'm not cashing it in now because that would be poor form.
Dick.
Nah, dude, do it. I can do it.
Meanwhile, Karina whips out her phone. She checks her phone right quick. Out of character, Kim. Karina's messaging the person that actually killed the spiders.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Does Crib have a thoughtful look on his face?
Hold on. What's the fate die roll?
Mm-hmm.
As in, it's 1d10, and you generally pick high or low.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you should totally fucking break that coin. It'll be amazing.
Oh god, no. Brett will have to be told by proxy he's dead.
Oh no. Let's wait for it.
Yeah, no. Because I was in the scene and I got a wish coin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use the wish coin. Because I had plans that just got moved forward about 7 months because that offer is too good to resist.
So you need some draws?
Hello, my new
I will point out, because Tintagil's not a moron, Tintagil already guesses that it is... Okay, I'm going to make this abundantly clear. Tintagil is not a moron. Tintagil already highly suspects one of these coins was broken to kill the spiders. His exact wording of his deal was the one responsible for the death of the spiders. So you can equally make the argument of the entity is not responsible for the actions given to complete their contract.
Exactly.
It is the... Yes. So, continue.
So yeah, no, gonna reach in the pocket, and I'm gonna snap that coin.
My beloved NPC will show up. No one, kind of... It's to the point where he looks like he was standing... Like he's been there the entire time, just for the first time. Y'all just kind of look over in their direction. And they're just standing there with their hands clasped behind their back. And they'll ask, "Yes."
And he will hold up the 2 pieces of the snapped coin, and he will walk over towards the masked individual. And
Tintagel is going to cough. Before you say anything, Tintagel is going to cough from where he's standing, and he's going to, as he's kind of, actually no, he's still totally just sitting on the ground with his. He's going to sit back down with his wife and split another strawberry because the death of someone is totally something that deserves the splitting of a strawberry.
Of course.
And he's going to say, "I will remind you, noble squire. Be careful with your wording. As I said, I highly suspect our friend here, when one of those little items was snapped, is responsible for the death of the spiders and their ilk and kin. However, I want the one who made the wish."
And he will hold his hand out, holding the snapped coin, kind of like to drop it in the masked figure's hand if they outreach it.
They won't. And actually, a couple seconds later, the two split ends will disappear. Just kind of dissipate in his hand.
So the coin kind of sublimates.
Yeah.
Well then, I seek but knowledge. Who is the one responsible for the curating of the act that made the spiders disappear?
I see. Their name is Moira O'Clair.
Tintagel will kind of quirk an eyebrows. He doesn't. I don't know that name, do I?
No, you do not.
However, now I have the name a will-o-wisp will serve.
And Crib will bow his head. Thank you.
They will stand there for a moment, kind of looking over the group. And they will... they were moving their head, towards each person. Of course, you can't really see where their eyes were going. And then they will stop on Dolrum and say, very simply, vengeance is her only ward.
He blinks a couple times.
And then they will disappear.
Did you say anything to Lady Minuet by any chance?
They said to I'm updating my memory log, Kim.
Yeah.
So it looked at Dolrum and said, vengeance
is her only ward.
Is that the word ward or reward?
Ward. W-A-R-D.
Okay.
Thank
Oh,
you. That's what I
my
was
bad.
looking for.
I heard it as Lord. Okay, my mistake.
That's why I
Tintagel
asked
will-
for clarification.
Tintagel will very calmly
wipe his fingers with a silk napkin, and he will say, "Very well, as I have said, bring me their head." "No, that's cruel." Do I seek to be cruel? No, they executed something that is, he thinks of. Okay, because he is Dougal, it makes complete sense that he would think of animated chimera as living, because he wouldn't make that distinction that they're automatons. He would think of them as living. He will say, "This Moira O'Connor, what was it? Moira is responsible for the death of someone under my protection. on House Darwan, you understand how vehemently that rankles me. So,
Was that Connell or Connor?
It was Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
Oh, Claire. Sorry, my apologies. This Moira O'Clair is responsible for the death of someone under my protection. That you can understand as a member of House Darwan how vehemently this rankles me.
There's a nod.
So, as I have said, no, I will not break the rights. I will not break the rights. If you bring me them alive, their physical state is no matter, provided they still draw breath, so that they may face good judgment for their crimes, then you will have all that I have promised. He will, however, stand up and he will bow respectfully to Crib, and he will say, "You have done me a service today, Squire Crib. It will not be forgotten."
I, for a brief moment, had the ability to answer an unanswerable question. And I gave you what was requested.
Yes. Are you quite all right, Lady Stormfury? You seem preoccupied.
Yes. Everything's fine.
Good. Good. I wonder what this Eau Claire person had against the spiders in order to, or what they did to earn the coin. All of us earned ours through incredible acts of hardship when we went to recover Lord Baelor. I wonder what this Eau Claire person did, as they were not with us, or at least no one I know goes by that moniker.
The figure will appear behind Tintagel, just kind of kneeling, and it will just kind of say, "I give my coins out for various reasons. No one said they all had to be incredibly difficult."
I have no doubt of that. Tintagel won't miss a beat. He'll smile. May I offer you a strawberry?
No.
As you wish. Okay, Kim, add a character question, because obviously Tintagel would normally go tearing off to go rescue his trolls, but like I don't want to, because we built this entire session around doing a mission. So do you mind if we do some GM hand wavium that, you know, time will allow him to do the mission and then return to get his trolls at some later point when he doesn't have to take up everyone's time to do it?
I've got to put Tintagel back together.
I was going to say, I think we're doing that after we get home at quote unquote dinner time.
Okay.
He's going to turn and he's going to say, "My darling," he will say as he kisses his wife's forehead, "do you object if we invite these lovely people when I return to dinner?"
Of course not. It has been much too long since I have had guests.
His eyes will kind of vaguely gloss to the castle and the sound of bashing frying pans and, you know, sledgehammers and ladders. And he will just say, "Yes, quite."
There is this one very high-pitched squeaky voice that pretty much just screams, "For our goddess Alcindra!" And then there is this god-awful crash.
In that case, if you would not mind, friends, I will go don my armor and gather my accoutrements, and we will depart.
Of course. While you are donning your armor, may I see to one half of our arrangement?
Of course. Kim, the dragon isn't currently here, are they?
Not at the castle, if y'all look up. I mean, if y'all look up, y'all might see them just kind of flying around.
Is the does and then we'll look to towards Tentagel. Does the dragon still rest in the same chamber?
When she deigns to sleep here, yes. As I've said, by all means, go and see to your arrangements. I will go and don my armor and my other accoutrements, and we will depart when I return.
All right.
So, Squire Crib, you will, as I'm leaving Catherine behind to take care of my wife, would you care to ride with me in that case?
I need to visit the kitchen to make sure the dragon's food is well prepared.
Of course, I mean when we depart.
Of course, I would gladly be so kind. It would be my honor.
Alcindra, Tentagel's wife, will kind of look over to Crib and kind of give him a knowing smile. Because she fucking knows what goes on in the kitchens.
So, well, Tentagel is off getting ready. He will head towards the kitchen. And he will, as soon as he is through the door and the door behind him closes, he will cheer upon the glories of what is
857.
857 and their wondrous takeover and rise to power. He will praise 857 as the lord of the kitchen and the master of the arena. He will be boisterous and loud to the point of damaging his vocal cords.
857, since you saw him last, has gotten a makeover. He now wears the jaw of another Wumblebot as a crown.
All right, so that will be my bunk. I'm going to spend a dross to buy Fae 3, and I am going to, second verse, same as the first, use Beltane's Soul on 857.
Okay. That bunk will get you a -3 since you are to the point of damaging vocal cords and stuff.
Okie dokie. 4, so 7.
By the way, Tim, what's the appropriate thing to call your character again?
The appropriate thing would be Lady Karina or Lady Stormfury.
Thank you.
Just first name is also okay for specifically Karina, because Karina seems to not really care as long as some kind of respect is given to her.
Oh, yeah. If she at any point tells him to dispense with the formalities, he'll do that as long as they're not in, some major formal environment.
Yeah.
So, 852 gets 2 melee dice, and I gain a point of nightmare.
You're at, what, 7 now?
7 now. But it has 2 bonus melee dice.
So it will pick up its sledgehammer again. And there are already 2 Wumblebots fighting, by the way. It will jump off of its little dais, sledgehammer in hand, and will, do that whole jump, holding the sledgehammer in both hands over his head, and then pretty much crash down into the ground, just turning one Wumblebot into shrapnel as bolts and wire go everywhere. The other Wumblebot The other Wumblebot is having a come to Jesus moment because he's just kind of like, so this is how I die. I was expecting to fight, that Wumblebot. I wasn't expecting Sledgehammer McGee. And in a most amusing fashion, a couple of little bolts will kind of fall from between the Wumblebot's legs. As wets itself the best that a little Wumblebot can. 8:57. No. Oh my god, it was 8:52. Jesus. Okay. Well, it's I should probably write that down under my big Google document page of
the Lord of the Katrina.
Hey Kim, has Crib done enough to merit?
I heard like half of that.
I asked if Crib had done enough to merit having Wumblebot lore 1.
Oh my god.
Wumblebot lore and influence.
Yes.
So 8:52 will lift up its sledgehammer again. The other Wumblebot is like, ah! And will do his best with his little fists. He has spikes on his fist. That have kind of been implanted on there because they take the parts of other Wumblebots and, they're actually not even spikes. They're screws that have been sharpened at the end that have kind of been, welded on. And he will start to try to punch 8:52. But 8:52 has had a lot of upgrades. A lot. Like a breastplate made from the chests of like 3 other Wumblebots, so it's incredibly thick. 8:52 will backhand the little Wumblebot that was trying to attack him, throw him into range of the sledgehammer again, and then with the other arm, and then we'll, not with the other arm, we'll grab. Yes, Tim, it is a rescue mission. We're slowly getting there. We'll grab the sledgehammer and, like a bat, use the sledgehammer to smack the other Wumblebot into the side of the arena, destroying the other Wumblebot.
Excellent.
Everyone will begin to cheer, saying, "All hail 8:52, our Lord of the Katrina!"
And while that's going on, he is going to go very happily over towards the people who make the food and just get some tea and various spices. Clove, cinnamon, yada yada yada. And then go to the dragon's room. And then I'm going to use nature 1, scene 1, and I'm going to make the air in the dragon's room a healthy, breathable, happy place using various herbs and spices as material sacrifices. I just have to make sure my Lord of the Kitchen Arena is safe and secure first.
He is very secure and safe.
So, herbs, spices, various good things thrown into a fire in a ritual manner. Difficulty reduction?
For all of that, that'll be a -4.
Okay. So it will be... We got spring 4, so 9 dice. I got 9 dice with the last 7 being nightmare at diff 3.
fun with all the nightmare. You like watch you get like 3 tins?
Kim, I love you, but for the love of Christ, don't jinx the boy.
So
Oh.
I get
Oh!
I get 2 nightmare, and it lasts for a week in the dragon chamber. So anybody who breathes in the dragon chamber gets awesome well of life benefits.
And you have like 1 tin left.
I have 9 nightmare. Leave me alone.
Won't that unbalance your second willpower?
Oh no. No. That's already gone. I went crazy for a day.
I'm pretty sure it's, I don't know, I'll look up the rules later.
The scene,
Well.
but
Further on.
By the way, guys, I got work at like 7 in the morning, and it's 9:30 now. So I'm probably only good for another hour at most.
all right. We can I just had to do the thing. But yeah, no, I'm at nightmare now. I'm
Not
good.
Lord of the Forest. Lord of the Nightmare.
As he's walking down the kind of the main grand staircase of his castle and Crit Hall, where they intersect.
We're gonna put a pause right there because I got something for the 2 peeps that have been waiting outside because I never said
Okay.
Mask Face disappeared again. So Mask Face has just been sitting there. Well, they stood up. Okay. Here's the part that- So, Karina and Dolrum have been standing out there for a bit, talking amongst themselves or something of the sort. Without any explanation, Masked Face will say something. And this is technically supposed to be sung out, but Kim's not really good at the whole singing thing, and we're on live air, so they will sing. A storm is loose upon the sea, whose eye is stained with tears. A wretch hell-bound and bent on blood, the makings of the fearful's fears. The tide, it stole away her grace. The depths, they wouldn't claim her. A toil begat by father's blood, this path was laid before her. Redemption born by brigand's blood, a blight upon the darkness. The pack embraced, a road unsought. The maiden of death won't be unwrought. Her wrath is known throughout the black. The gardens of death she is tending. Vengeance is her only ward. Beware the blood-red rose's thorn.
Intelligence enigmas.
Is a thing I may have. I do, in fact.
Or intelligence gray mare, I don't know.
Enigmas.
Okay.
What's the diff?
Will be standard.
I'm a burn a willpower.
Now, you guys have, of course, heard Maskface speak as well. And their voice is very layered, you know, masculine, feminine, young, old. But when they sung this, it was a very ethereal, almost crystalline, young female voice. Well, not like childish young, but like not like old and grandma is kind of like this. It was very, yeah.
3 successes.
Oh, hey, there's also 2 successes.
With 2 successes, somebody's pissed, and it's a her. With 3 successes, she said the Gardens of Death she is tending. Vengeance is her only ward. Lots of other things to point in very certain places. And didn't Dolrum go and visit a woman the other day who claimed that this forest of stone and the figures that had been turned to stone and kept here, who could presumably be dead, her garden?
I got that portion. I'm a little and from the sound of it, they also said they can't be unwrought. At least if
Maiden
they're...
of Death won't be unwrought.
No, we don't know if she's the Maiden of Death, or do we? Solon has Enigma 0.
What
I mean-
I'm getting... Sorry.
Y'all could assume that the first part of this little song was just kind of like backstory for this person, and then like the bottom was like vengeance is her only ward, beware, because somebody pissed her off.
It
Her off
might
something
have,
fucking fierce.
I hate to ask, but I'm sometimes more of a visual person. Is there a way that we could see the whole poem as recited?
Mm-hmm. It is inside chat.
Alrighty. Let me take a look. Ooh, that's a long one. Okay.
As I say, while they ponder the poem, as Tantaz was just walking down the main hallway with Crib walking out of the walking down the main staircase, with Crib walking out of the grand hall, he's going to very casually throw Crib a helmet, like a crash helmet.
He'll grab it, put it on.
He'll say, "Have you met Terence?"
No.
"You're about to."
Oh, bother.
Other than that, I think we're just going to go to the stable and get various things. But sorry, continue, Tim.
The only thing I was going to ask was in the side chat. Well, the other thing I was going to ask is, so who? Actually, you know what? Kreen will ask this in character as they're getting everyone, and Wakanda is coming along with them. Those of you that do not know, Wakanda is a giant panther.
Yay.
That's marvelous.
Literally.
I have a question. Does Dolrum require a mount for this expedition?
Hobbits don't ride ponies. No, I'm just kidding.
Kim, Tintagel is going to let out a whistle, and he's going to say in a commanding tone, "Here, Fluffletuff."
Oh no. What is Fluffletuff?
You're about to see.
And here I thought I would never need that ride skill, so I could take it at 0.
It means anything I don't have right either. I've just kind of been praying.
I have drive, and I was going to say, like, this is why my ride is a motorcycle now.
I don't even have a ride on my sheet.
This month it's gonna be drive and ride for me.
Yep.
Hey, Kim, Tentacula's casting some Fluffletuff.
Yeah, and they will come.
Okay. To describe the mount that is currently bounding towards Solon, would you rather do it, Kim, or will I do it?
If I remember correctly, that's Catherine's mount, isn't it?
Yes, I'm allowing the little one to borrow it.
Catherine looking sus as fuck, but she ain't say shit. A giant, like troll-sized, extremely fluffy Saint Bernard will come barreling out of the stables with the thump, 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 thump as it runs out, tongue lolling and everything.
Who's a good boy?
What the fuck? These humans done to local wolves.
Around its neck. It doesn't have it doesn't have the tiny keg. It's got an actual full-sized fucking barrel on its collar.
Yay!
As it runs out. And it's a little bit too big, and it's used to a troll being the one to receive these love. And instead it is a 4-foot creature resembling a hobbit. So it will bound up, its head low, getting ready to ram, as it usually does with the troll, unbeknowing, or it could know. I just want to see how far it could punt. But it will ram Dolrin with its.
Actually, I got something for this. I got something for this. No, I'm okay. I see this thing coming at me, right?
Yes.
Wayfair 1 on myself.
Question: This dog, this is a very domesticated Saint Bernard, isn't it?
Yes.
I can't talk to this,
You can't.
which is why Corinna thinks it's stupid.
Shall I make the roll?
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Well, my hope was that if it actually doesn't stop on a dime, that I would actually basically come back down on top of it.
You would go straight up. If it continued to go, it would take a... It's like, okay, Wayfair, it slowly brings you down.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
So depending on how many successes, you'll be up in the air for a bit.
Whatever, a Wayfair plus the relevant art, and I will have to burn 1 glamour from affecting myself, and I'm a noble. Burn 1 glamour. Does it require base glamour? No, we're in dreaming. So 2 dice. What's the difficulty? 7 out here?
Mm-hmm.
Success. Hey, actually, guys, I gotta go. Okay.
You're gonna go?
I gotta go. Bye.
All right.
Okay.
In that case, Fluffletuff will just bound out, knock the Boggin unconscious, and will receive much love. And Kim, it will receive many scritches.
It is very happy.
Yay. Out of curiosity, what's in its barrel?
Well, It's Okay, what do you expect? It's a troll, right?
Yeah, but it's also Catherine. So I'm gonna say it's like chocolate milk or something ridiculous.
No, it's like some really strong whiskey.
Oh, okay. But in that case, Tintagil's gonna mount up on Terence. For the record, I don't think Crib has seen Terence. Terence is a kind of a World War II era sidecar motorcycle. He was incredibly sarcastic and hates life. And who has a sidecar on him.
It will just it will just say, "Oh, how wonderful, you and a friend."
Yes, Terence. Now we must be away.
How wonderful.
Wait, is the Saint Bernard talking?
No, Tintagil's motorcycle is talking.
Oh, okay.
The Saint Bernard is giving Karina the stink eye.
Karina looks back at Saint Bernard. What?
Heads up, I got about 30 minutes.
Okay. Just one little quick thing. The Saint Bernard will lift up a paw and paw at the ground, but it does so in such a way that when it scrapes the dirt, it flings the dirt at Karina, and then it will turn around and head back to the stables.
It flings dirt at who?
Karina. Not
Kim,
a
it
lot.
flings dirt at who?
The
Call-
Saint Bernard fling dirty Karina. This is the first animal that has disliked Karina. Because it's domesticated and you can't understand it.
There's no reason to hate animals.
She
Wait till you see
She resents she resents them because they are proof of humanity's corruption on Earth.
You know what? Patrick is very sad right now because that means you hate his cockatiel.
No, because she can talk to the cockatiel.
Patrick is still very fucking sad.
Hey Tim, wait till you see my next project, which is the Regiment of Rabbits with Moustaches.
You're not domesticating them though. You're giving them mustaches.
And little military uniforms.
You can
Did you
hear
get that
Tim.
from Strike Legion?
Beg your pardon?
Did you get that from Strike Legion?
I might have done.
Okay. But we do have a person who needs to leave slightly soon.
Yes, let's go ahead and do this.
Yes, let's do the thing.
Yep, double time.
So, Crib leads them through the forest once again. Because he knows the way to a point this time.
And as we start passing through, he will remind people not to trust their senses. If something smells too sweet or sounds too good to be true, it is. Stay away, for that is where the Mandragoras live.
And then, as you guys traverse through the forest, Crib, you'll hear a familiar voice. Oh, you came back and you brought friends. Are they as stupid as the red cat?
Absolutely not.
Damn!
I mean, I would like to say things are as stupid as a red cap, or as that red cap, but that would be an insult to most single solid organisms.
Oh, okay.
Karina's looking over like, what? Who is this red cap?
The
And
idiot
like
one with
Crib
dripping,
will look over, deadpan. A
the
dumb
idiot one with the
motherfucker.
dripping gauntlets. Oh, sorry. Continue, Austin.
And he looks over at Karina, a dumb motherfucker.
Dripping gauntlets. You may recall him.
Oh, yes, him.
Yeah.
I remember him. He spoke.
On a side note, for his ignorance, I've said I have to cut his hands and tongue off when I next encounter him.
Okay.
She looks
And he
over at
will-
Tentacle and like she's just like, what did he do?
He almost unleashed the anger of an incredibly powerful being on the entirety of the kingdom.
I
Oh.
mean,
There was no was about it. She's very, very pissed.
so does anybody have anything they're willing to give up? This is very
Define.
important. You want to go see the gold statue? That's where Crazy Stone Lady lives, with her pet glowing eyes, who lives underground. So, Durham, who was the ranking member, skirted her hospitality. I left 2 dross because that's what I had on me. She offered a gift. Durham refused it.
She offered him a gift in good faith.
As best I could tell, he refused it. He was the ranking member. He's a knight. I'm a squire. I deferred to his judgment. Personally, I was scared as fuck because, as far as I could tell, that was either a gorgon or a basilisk, and I hid behind a trash can. And I'm not gonna lie.
There are many acceptable times to hide behind a trash can.
Agreed.
So, but he did not accept the gift, and he was the ranking member. There was an untitled, a squire, and he was a knight.
Ranking dumbass, perhaps.
I absolutely agree with that mysterious voice from the trees.
Thank you.
Hang on. He's going to quirk an eyebrow and he's going to say, Zui?
Who
Not
is that?
Not Zui.
No. Maybe not. But, Kim, what is the name of Zui's race?
Asias.
Asias?
Well, technically it's Asia, but they are, as a collective, known as, Asias, because you gotta put an S on that shit. And
Are you an Asia by any chance?
no, I am not.
What are you?
Do I really wish to tell you, though?
Well, you have nothing else to do, really.
You were very right. I'm what's known as a lurk.
Oh, I have Thalain Lorcan.
Yes, you do.
Can I make a roll?
Yeah.
Yay.
Karina's just going to look over to Crib and just ask calmly. So you are telling me that this Dolrum managed to arouse the anger of multiple beings with possibly godlike powers? Is this what I am?
Kim, sorry, you know, Kim, whenever I have to roll fucking, whatchamacallit, whenever I roll Thalain lore, I always get like mad successes.
I hate you.
4
Oh,
successes.
No. Oh, Jesus.
Tell me this thing and tell me about its life story.
I will when
Oh no,
Tim
that was
finishes.
nothing. When Kim rolled it for me once, I got 7 successes on a Kelpie.
Oh, Christ.
With you. But anyway, I will go on to explain when Tim finishes speaking.
I didn't hear Tim. There must have been some lag. Sorry, Tim.
No, that's all good. Karina looked at Crib and asked, so this Dolrum has managed to arouse the ire of multiple godlike beings as a result of his failure to observe hospitality?
He just kind of nods and shrugs.
Wait, nobody mentioned hospitality.
Well,
They said there was a gift offering.
there was a gift offering. She offered a gift while I was making a strategic retreat and letting the person in charge, i.e. the person with highest rank, who's possibly an imbecile,
No,
make the calls?
She did very clearly offer hospitality.
Wait.
As in hospitality, as in sworn by the old acts and enforced by the old ways.
If I remember it correctly, and you have to remember, I was kind of hiding because that's what I like to do. I like to hide. They had, they had seen her garden, and then her pet basilisk came out, and they saw it, and of course,
It was a basilisk?
I mean, maybe. Who knows? I don't know anything. I'm just a little lurk. But anyway, so
Little lurk.
yes, I'm very small for my kind. Let's not talk about that.
Neither
So
here nor there.
yeah. Oh, by the way, pretty much Evan lurks are Bigfoots. Delane Bigfoots. Except she is a little foot.
Define Bigfoots.
Large, hairy creatures covered in fur or hair from head to toe with large eyes, arms, nostrils, and a lot of teeth. Depending on their environment, their coats can be green, brown, white, whatever it is to blend in.
What are their kith boons and flaws?
Landscape stride, which is where they receive their glamour rating and automatic successes for athletic strength or survival, or athletic stealth or survival rolls made within their native surroundings.
Damn!
They double their speed while in those environments.
Yep, in both the Dreaming and Autumn worlds. They will also eat anything.
Why is that not the house boon? Why is that not my house boon?
Because fuck no house.
What's their frailty, Kim?
They always leave evidence behind of their passing, whether it be fur, footprints, broken saplings, or bones, or anything like that from their last meals.
So it's like a Bigfoot, a Yeti, the
yes.
Yowie,
Yes.
Hibagan.
Tintagel very calmly reaches down and press a button on Terrence to open the mini fridge.
That mini fridge was not a part of the design. Screw you. You already got Gatling guns and shit on it. There's no mini fridge.
I will build a mini fridge into this. I honestly thought there was a mini fridge. Okay, he will just, because he generally keeps food on Terrence in case he gets lost in the dreaming. So he will withdraw a candy bar from the food he keeps on Terrence.
What are you going to do, throw
in
it
a
at the tree?
saddlebag or something. No, he's going to, he said to eat anything. He's going to offer it.
Okay.
He's going to say, since we're having such a lovely conversation and I'm led to understand that your chaps or you individuals are generally quite hungry, would you care for a bar of chocolate, perhaps?
In a moment when I get finished explaining. So, anyway. Yeah. You'll just hear the cracking of knuckles. So, anyway, they had done this. And the big idiot Redcap immediately started, preparing a bunk. That much was seen. He was doing all the let winter come or, let it snow or something or other like that. It was very silly. And then, little Boggin started doing some silly things as well. And then a lady came out. And, they were not being very polite. They looked like they were about to attack her pet. So she just kind of walked out and was, she said something along the lines of, well, since you are already on my territory and you're doing all this and that, making it seem like you were about to attack me, I should at least offer you hospitality first. To which the little Boggin pretty much said, nah, no thank you.
Tintagel's going to look open-mouthed, kind of like a gaping fish at Crib. A member of House Star 1 refused hospitality freely given.
Crib, do you have a liege lord?
One, he's gonna nod to Tintagel. Yeah, that and very and very matter-of-factly of, yeah, that was a thing that happened. And then he's going to look over at Karina. I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
I asked if you had a liege lord, because if you do not, I am tempted to knight you now on the condition that if Dalrum speaks again, in a situation in which hospitality is something that must be observed, you fight him for leadership.
Tintagil's going to stop the bike because he hasn't stopped the bike up to this point, and he's going to kind of power down. He's going to, kind of step off Terrence, and you just see him he'll take a pack of painkillers out of his pack that he has on Terrence, just like a pack of your ordinary Panadol or like paracetamol, and he just caps them, two of them, takes them, and massages his temples.
And at this point, the little lurk will kind of step out, and they look like a little baby. Or, they are definitely young. And about 3.5 feet tall. Covered, in fur. Greenish brown fur. That's how they blend in so easily. And they'll just walk up and take the candy bar.
And he will look
He'll
over
say, "It is very nice to meet you."
He'll look at Karina. I was squired by Ashram Felhart ap Baelor. I have, since his descendants from the kingdom, I was transferred over to House Darwan for maintenance and education. But he will look over at Tintagil. I believe promotions are in line.
Yes. He will say, "I will consider this." He's kind of... Tintagil's going to take like a stiff swig out of a hip flask he'll remove from his food rations. Just kind of like, okay.
I don't really think
dealing
you're
with
supposed to mix painkillers and alcohol.
It's not necessarily the brightest idea, but it works.
These are just over-the-counter pain medication. They're nothing too severe. I'm suddenly being hit by what I will refer to as a furiously stupid headache. Or furious stupidity-driven headache. Yes, Squire Crib. Should we emerge victorious and should we emerge with a positive outcome based... He stops. He stops mid-sentence and he says, "This means Sir Silverpeak lied directly to my face."
If you wish to take it that way.
I see.
Perception and understanding shape worldviews. And if he is not necessarily bright or understanding, he may not understand what he said or what transpired around him.
I see. If we succeed today...
He may not have lied.
If we succeed today, I will consider this your full and proper test of knighthood, and I will knight you upon our return.
He'll nod.
He'll look down at the little lurk, and he'll say, "And what is your name, little one?"
Oh. I don't really have one.
Oh. Tintagil is going to extend his hand to shake.
And they will reach up and take his hand.
He will shake their hand and he will say, "My name is Tintagil. It is very nice to meet you."
It's good to meet you, Tintagil.
So you don't have a name?
No. I've never really thought to get one.
Everyone should have a name.
I mean, if you want people to have that sort of power over you.
There's a difference between the name that you are called and the name upon your soul.
Soldier's kind of shrug.
He'll kind of look around. What's the name of this woodland, Kim?
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
It's called the, Drifting Winds. Fuck it.
How about Drift? That seems like an appropriate name for one who can move as swiftly as the wind.
Sure, okay.
He'll smile, and he'll say, "My castle is not far from here yonder. Should you ever be hungry, please, my door is always open."
They'll nod.
You've done me a service in the informing me of the clear and blatant stupidity of two of our esteemed friends. So I think if that does not merit a few good meals, then nothing does, eh?
Oh, sure.
He's gonna sigh deeply before getting back on his motorcycle. Well, are you intending to follow us, or are you happy where you are?
I'll probably follow you guys, because I have nothing better to do.
Would you like to sit in... He'll kind of gesture, because bear in mind, it is a troll-sized car, and there's only a ghillie do. He'll say, you can sit if you'd like.
I don't like those things. They make too much noise.
Ah. That is fair. In that case, Kim, he's just going to ignite the engine, and we're going to push on. Little lurk. He's going to look down at Crib and he's going to say, "So, this is the voice that nearly caused the red cap to become indelicate."
Crib will ponder. This definitely tilted the scale.
Oh, my bad.
They will, this voice and our now present guest were definitely responsible for several of the offsettings of our red cap friend.
Tintagel will nod. He's going to put on more gas because, obviously he wants to arrive there as quickly as possible. Also, he's pretty sure the lurk can handily keep up with them.
Me.
It is a little lurk, Kim.
It is. So,
Which is such fun to say.
yes. So, you guys will arrive. But before you do, the smell of ash and smoke hits you first. As you continue riding, Crib, what used to be an outcropping of stony trees and leaves and statues, is no longer. Instead, the landscape has been transformed into it is living, but it looks like a horrible fire has swept through. These statues are now charred corpses. The leaves are fringed with still burning embers, as is the ground. Everything is black and deadened. The sadness that once filled this place is now turned into a raging anger that touches every single one of you.
Kim, a weird question. Tintagel has eluded many times and, has the remembrance, whatever else. He has seen dragon's fire and what it does before to large areas. Is this reminiscent of that kind of fire?
Let me check my notes. Yes, it is similar to Dragon's Fire. It's definitely a massive just gout of fire has just raged through this area.
The statues. Oh, sorry, continue.
But at the heart of it all, because this is a massive tree, there is still in the middle of this forest a large stone tree, which Crib remembers is where the peeps were.
As we approach, Crib will stop. He will look towards Tintagel and Karina. I don't know their rules. I don't know their regulations. But we know they offer at least some form of hospitality and some form of grace. Be prepared to offer as such. The person who lives in this space, the person who owns this domain is its lord, and this was something we did not know. Be prepared to offer comeuppance.
As we've stopped, Tagel's going to kneel down, and he's going to kind of pick up some of the ash and move it between his fingers. And he's going to say, Squire Crib, did you encounter anyone else on your travels here?
I encountered the voice in the trees, which is our accompanied lurk. And there was the lord of the domain, the lady of the domain, and her pet. Or what I can only assume is her pet.
Tintagel stands, and he'll say, there's one other. Hmm?
It is. She wears a mask and wears a robe of stone.
There is one other, Squire Crib. The one who provided you with the will-o-wisp to get here. The one who provided the item that came with Sir Dalrim here.
That would... Ooh, sorry. The wisps led us to Lady... cannot...
Minuet?
No. The item was given by Lady Minuet.
Yes.
Let us
and I'm saying
Isabel
you, because she gave you the item that led you here. I guarantee you she knew of this place. He'll say, tracing the devastation around you with his finger.
I'll nod.
I cannot think of who else would have had reason to react so violently. This is not, he'll say as he holds up a handful of ash, this is not dissimilar to Dragon's Fire. these days. Anyway, he's going to kind of look around. Drift, are you still here?
Yes.
Did you see what did this?
Yes.
Did it?
The lady.
The lady with the stone and the mask.
Yes.
Why?
She was angry. And this land mimics her emotions. As much things do in the dreaming. After all, does your king not sway the weather of the kingdoms? Simply
Indeed.
because of their emotion.
He lets out a deep sigh, because Kim, you said we saw stone bodies that are now corpses.
Yes.
He's going to say, because he suspects that basically what she did was essentially a variation of winter magic, in the sense they were petrified but could be awoken again. Would that be a reasonable assumption for him to make? I'll roll Grey Mirror at it if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay.
And if anyone would, and if anyone would want to roll perception investigation, that would also work. Oh, I have to get a jacket on. It's fucking freezing.
I has 3 successes, and Kim put on a jacket.
Oh yeah, give me a
Yeah,
moment.
ignore that lost roll. That was 4d20. There we go.
Because Tim is just so extreme. He gets 2 more digits on his dice than everybody else.
Kind of.
Womp womp.
But yeah, I will be back in just one moment because I also have to go use the bathroom, so y'all can make y'all's rolls.
What was
and
the,
do some talking.
The roll?
Perk investigation or int Greymare or int Greymare. Yes.
Do 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 do.
Because Austin, if I'm right, and they pissed, and if Dalrim and Tweedle McFuckwit, which is what I'm going to refer to as Byron from now on, if they're responsible for the deaths of the Kinane here, it just got really complicated.
Right, there's that.
Or the
roll.
Kithane, rather, not Kithane. I can brain today.
You can brain?
Brains!
Intelligence 2. Brain there. 3, that's 5 dice. Oh yeah, no. Shenanigans. Oh yeah, no. It got bad. It got real bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so my per investigation is 2, my intelligence Greymare is 4.
Okay.
Scream.
Okay. I've got 2 successes as well with the perk investigation. So with 2 successes with the with the perk investigation, Karina, you both have seen what Okay. These corpses look like they were fighting before they died. Crib, you remember that these corpses were standing still and upright. These corpses are on the ground, flailed.
Oh boy.
Limbs have been chopped off. That's what you guys can both see. And it looks like they were fighting before they were brutally cut down. With the Int Grey Mare, 4 successes, 3 successes. Okay. With the 3 successes, there were rumors of a basilisk. The lurk kind of let it slip that there was a basilisk. So it is very possible to say that the basilisk was the one that turned it all to stone. In all of the rumors and legends, for that to be undone, the basilisk usually had to have been killed. And then, whatever it was, they were stone. You can feel that residual magic. And then, with the 4 successes, when that spell dissipated, when that magic of stone had gone, something came through with searing flames that burned everything in its path.
Alright.
Oh, shit.
So the entire terrain is different from what we saw before. Or what I saw before.
Yes. Instead of the grass and the trees and the statues, everything being stone, the grass is now grass. It crunches under your feet because it's also been burned to a crisp. And it doesn't so much crunch as just kind of melts into ash. And the trees are as well. There is no more wind blowing through here either. And of course, these statues are now corpses. And everything is burned except for the large tree which you can see looming over. That is still stone.
So
I'm gonna
he will... Crib
continue.
will show the rainbow colors of panic in his flowers.
All right, is that hair thing still happening, Kim? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the hair thing is still very much still happening.
Is there a color for unsettled?
Yes. It's probably a light pastel blue.
Okay.
Tintagel kind of chews. That's not in his mouth. His hair is bright, incandescent red at this moment in time. As in, he is furious.
Crib is in full panic. On the outside, he is trying to maintain calm, and it is just barely. But his hair betrays him, and the flowers are flickering the rainbow of panic and chaos.
Now, I will say you guys can still roll Manip sub if you really want to hide it, because the colors will...
No, I don't.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, I just don't want people to get pissed, be like, you made me, what's the use of Manip sub if my hair gives all this away because I did this thing? I didn't want to hear the bitching, so I was like, you can roll Manip. Okay.
Nope.
Tintagel is going to step on the gas, as in hardcore, kind of I am pissed. Terrence is probably going to bitch that I just basically kicked it so hard.
When the sudden acceleration begins, Crib is going to grab him by the arm and squeeze and shake his head left to right.
I'm going to have a pleasant conversation. I'm not angry with our would-be hostess. I'm angry with the ignorant changelings who could not obey simple rules and caused this Holocaust.
the statues were standing last time I was here. Their shapes have changed. Their expressions are different. Pardon my deepest expression, but there's danger in them there hills.
I'm well aware of this fact, Squire Cribb. However, we must investigate. I must see from my own eyes if all of the statues are gone, destroyed, irreparable, or else I will personally feel as though I have failed.
He'll nod. He's just gonna nod.
So, Kim, we're going to coast up to the tree. Let me know if we see the corpse of a giant, because that one's going to be interesting.
No. In fact, as you guys get closer, you can kind of see in a circle around this tree. The tree is about half a mile long, and it's about half a mile in diameter, by the way, so it's a big ass tree.
Big fucking tree from curve to curve.
Yes. As you guys ride and drive up, in about quarter of a mile away from the tree, everything is still stone. Okay, well, a little less than a quarter mile. Is still stone. Of course, there is ash now on this stone, kind of blown over. But everyone, again, sees the 15-foot statue holding the stone bowl, which is pouring gold onto these figures underneath it, bathing them in gold. Though the gold doesn't cling to them, instead it also rolls off of them in drivlets until it collects into a small pool at the bottom. Now it's not really tiered. Hold on. It's not really, I know you said hi, but it's not really tiered. Actually, it is tiered. The giant is on a root, a very tall root, very close to the tree. And then these other statues are steadily on lower rungs of this root system until, of course, it all collects at the bottom in a very big pool. The giant figure has 60-foot, a wingspan of about 60 feet. They seem to be bird wings, very similar to what many would call angelic wings. Its hair falls to about its butt, and it's got a blindfold on. No, actually, it doesn't have the blindfold on. That's right, because gold. The statue seems to be crying, and instead of tears, it is also gold, molten gold.
Huh. Tintagil's gonna step off his motorcycle. He's gonna kind of brush himself down. He's gonna walk over to the gold. Kim, hi, I'm a smith. I'm also a jewelry maker. Is this actual gold?
Yes, the purest gold you have ever seen.
Ha He's going to kind of look up and quirk his head for a second, and then he's going to look down. He's going to Kim, what would the relevant skill be to try and determine why it's crying gold? Because Evan has a theory, but I want to put it into a characterful way.
If you want to roll like enigmas,
I can do that. Standard def?
Yeah.
Will his spec and creative apply?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay, with 4 successes in the Ents Enigmas, from what you heard of this person, they consider this their garden. They have a very creepy ass aesthetic. You can probably assume that the crying gold is just as aesthetic.
Tintagel looks up and he's sad again. Giants are so rare. He liked giants. They made nice things. I know Karina feels ways about them, but Tintagel likes giants.
Literally the embodiment of evil.
You're allowed to be wrong.
You're allowed to be a Christian heretic. It's fine.
Oh, banter. Banter makes it all better. Tintagel is going to walk back to Terrence. Is the gold physically hot, Kim?
Yes, it is molten metal.
Okay. Gold, however, has a very low melting point compared to other metals. So what he's going to do is he's going to very casually, he's going to remove a, how would one describe it? What would he have on him? He carries tools with him. He carries his Kim, for his project that he has, how much of this gold does he reckon he would need?
You want to make a mirror out of it.
So a relatively large amount of it.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your go ahead and roll your int etiquette.
Oh, he knows perfectly well he's going to be stealing from someone.
Okay.
This is his I give a fuck face. No, he's going to wait until after we meet them to rob them. He's going to step back up onto his mount and kick it into motion again, and we're going to drive up to the tree. I think.
Why
Homicide,
must you always?
Giants, not the embodiment of evil. Continue.
Why must you always hurt me in this way?
To drink your tears, Kim. To drink your tears.
That was Terrence talking. Fuck you.
I am not much
to drink
longer
your
for
tears,
the waking
to drink your
world.
tears.
What, Austin?
I am not much longer for the waking world.
Okay. Damn. Okay. So is Crib gonna lead him to the opening where he remembers the woman and whatnot walked out of?
So he will lead them to the edge of the essential grove. And once we get to that point, he will tug on Tentagel's arm and then motion for him to stop. And
Tintagel will stop. He pulls his hood up over his head.
he will then point to where the opening was prior.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the woman and the beast with the eyes revealed itself.
As Sir Dolrum refused hospitality on your behalf last time, it might be wise for you to stay here with Terence.
He'll nod. I, however, left a gift.
I beg your pardon, what was that?
I left a gift.
What was that?
I left the dross I had on me.
Interesting. It is up to you. If you wish to come with us, or if you... Oh, sorry, continue.
I also hid behind a trash can lid because gaze attacks are scary.
I'll say, it is up to you, Squire Cribben, if you wish to advance with myself and Baroness Stormfury, or if you wish to stay here.
I led you here. I am here with you. I did no wrong. I was following the orders of those above me. I am
Indeed.
confident in my actions. I will follow you as you all hold higher station.
Tentagel's going to tug down the brim of his cloak over his, not necessarily over his eyes, but to the point that it would be very easy for him to look up into his cloak as opposed to be looking outwards, and is going to start walking towards the opening. Hey, yo, Tim, you still exist?
Yep.
Were you going to go do some Thug Life shit?
I mean, I thought we were gonna have a conversation. Are we about to murk this bitch?
It depends on how the conversation goes.
I mean, I have backup characters.
So do I, actually. King of the Leprechauns. He'll fight you if you say you aren't, with his 2 brawl and his 1 dex.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be marvelous.
No.
But I'm going to repeat, my cowardice is deafening.
You know, Karina more respects the fact that he was honest about it.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's meant to be a trial of, Tintagel views this as a trial of knighthood. Being a knight does not mean you have no fear. It is the matter of overcoming your fear.
And in some cases, recognizing you are way the fuck in over your head.
Tintagel is going to he's going to bring his satchel full of food with him. And we walk towards the mouth.
Before you guys get too close, a voice will ring out and say, "And why are you back?"
Crib will, as his flowers change colors rapidly, he's going to clear his throat. There are those who wish to investigate our claims and follow suit with what had happened. They outrank the ones who were here before. We have a count and a baroness. They wish to see with their own eyes what we saw.
We were led to understand, if you forgive me, that some offense may have been leveled, and so we have come here in order to speak reparation for the ignorance of some, and to possibly share a enjoyable and congenial conversation.
Okay. Everyone roll perk alert.
What sense is it based off, Kim?
Your eagle eye would apply.
Elf eyes, Kim.
Yes, it would apply.
Oh well, I see nothing.
So my tree eyes see with 4 successes.
Oh, damn.
10 ones now. 10 ones.
Okay. So, I apologize to Tip. You did get 1 success, but that was not enough. With 4 successes, you're looking kind of, the person is talking, so you guys are kind of looking into the entryway under this tree. There's not too much light that's going in there, but Crib, you see the glint of a silver mask a moment before it disappears.
In the hole?
In the hole. The gilded silver mask.
And he will unceremoniously and without concern to rank just kind of grab both Tintagel and Krina by the shoulders and kind of pull him closer. Pull them closer to him. Nope.
Trust me, I know that fear. I had to go, and I was it's bad.
What fear?
I have this very odd fear of elevators. They just scare the shit out of me. I went to do an escape room, and unbeknownst to me, there was a fucking elevator in it. So I had to go in the elevator because that's how we had to continue. And I was just grabbing on to my coworkers very tightly as I tried not to panic. It is a horrible fear where you just kind of grab whatever you can and just pull them closer to you. So I can sympathize with some crib right now.
It's just like foot jibber. That's what the bad thing is.
Well, no, you know this glinting silver mask, or you know the silver mask. It wasn't the figure from before. Well, technically, it was a figure from before. It was that was the mask of Mask Face, but it was shown. And when I say a split second, I mean you just barely caught that glimpse of 4 successes before it completely disappeared. Then the figure you saw yesterday will walk out with their stone gray robes and plain white mask. They will walk out. The fringes of their robe are burning red with embers. But it doesn't seem to really bother them at that point. They just kind of walk out and say, "The only reparations I seek for having my hospitality spat back into my face is the death of both the Red Cap and the Bargain."
See, Tintagel is going to sit down, kind of cross-legged on the ground, and he's going to say, "As we have not disrespected your hospitality and have come to you in the spirit of fraternity and the mending of bridges, may we consider ourselves to be under said hospitality?"
Yes.
He will nod, and he will say, "In that case, it is tradition." He will remove from his satchel. He will remove his small hip flask, and he will remove 2 small glasses. He will say, "Will you join me in a drink? Friendship. The act of having one in one's home."
They nod.
Okay. He will pour a generous helping of, we're going to call it troll brew whiskey because that sounds amazing. And he will walk over and he will hand her one of the glasses. Is this thing presenting as a she, as in a her?
Yes, a female. They have long hair and a feminine voice.
He will hand her the glass and he will raise his own and he will say, "Shall we drink to your health?"
Her hair is a beautiful brown hair.
Yes. Very silky,
As I
glossy
said,
brown.
he'll raise his glass and he'll say, "Shall we drink to your health?"
To my health, then, she says as she lifts the glass up.
He will take the shot.
She will remove her mask and take the shot.
Now then, once again, as it comes to the life of the Bargain and the Red Cap, he will casually shrug. "If it is in your power to take it, then that is your concern if they offered you offense. There will be no repercussions from us."
Not that these repercussions would matter from you.
I beg your pardon?
She said not that these repercussions would matter from you.
Oh, of course. May I ask your name?
My name?
Yes.
Why is it that you want it?
He will say, "You have me at rather a disadvantage. From what Squire Cribb and how he has described it to me, you already know my name. You knew the moment I set foot out of my home with the intention of coming here that I was on my way. So I made it curious to be on the same page as my charming host."
She arches an eyebrow, which you guys can see now because she removed her mask.
Oh, what does she look like?
Hold on. Oh shit. Sorry, I just fucking loathe Mardi Gras.
Oh, there's a picture coming.
Huh? No, there's not a picture coming. Sorry. My boss sent the group Snapchat a picture of somebody in Mardi Gras regalia saying, "What y'all Mardi Gras looking ass?" And I just found that humorous. They had like bright green fucking sparkly leggings on. Anyway, she has an ethereal beauty to her. Her eyes are have you ever seen someone with eyes so blue that they kind of hurt to look at?
Yes, my old roommate.
Yes.
She has eyes that color blue, and I'm not just talking about the irises. I mean her entire eyes are that blue that they are hard to look at. Because they are just that brilliant blue.
I understand entirely.
Yes.
Kim, does she have she features?
Does she have Savartol features?
Not really. Also, it stands to mention her skin is a very, very deep purple.
Oh. Remembrance or lore, maybe?
I mean,
One
now that I
last
see her face, I'd like a remembrance roll.
Yes. One last thing. Because she has sigils drawn on her skin in a dark red paint.
Tintagel will ask very politely, as Evan rolls his remembrance, if she would mind terribly if he read her sigils.
That's fine. Oh, and she would have given her name as Nimu.
Nimu.
Or Nimu.
2 successes on his intremember. Oh, wait, no, I rolled my wrong pool for that. I have to re-roll that.
About to say, that pool's looking a little big there, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has 1 less dice. He has 7. Wait, sorry, 4. Yeah, he has 7 for it, so I'll re-roll.
Oh, spin that wheel power.
Even with the, he has 4 successes.
What the fuck?
I got 1 with the wheel. 1 after.
Oh, my bad. What were we rolling?
We're rolling in remembrance.
To get what skill?
No, they can roll remembrance to remember
important
things.
Important vital information.
I'll give it a roll then. Oh, hey.
Damn. Okay, with 1 success.
I got 1.
I don't know what to give you with 1 success.
I mean, not enough is an appropriate response. Don't remember is an inappropriate response.
Yeah, not Not with just one success.
Okay.
With 3 successes, you remember hearing very, very old, and this is you just remembering hearing tales of this. These creatures known as Darkkin.
Fuck.
Oh, that's butthole puckering.
Fuck.
That is super butthole puckering.
Austin, out of character, Evan doesn't know what a dark kin is.
That is also known as the Adhene. Those are the Fomorian foot soldiers. Those are the what we are to the Tuatha, they are to Fomorian.
Yeah. Imagine Karina if she gave less fucks.
I mean, these are what the enemies of the War of. So changelings were the hope of good and the light of positivity in the War of Trees. The Darkkin were things of nightmares and corrupt and fear. And these things make Thalain look like pleasant neighbors.
Because at least the lane have some measure of humanity.
Right. These things are entirely alien, far and far away from anything we consider natural or standard.
And what do I get with left 4 successes, Kim?
You get what Tim got. Just a little bit more specified. You remember hearing tales of these creatures who could grow multiple arms and breathe fire, known as Narake.
Oh, Christ.
Of course you took the one I wanted to play!
Oh, Christ.
Oh no!
You know, Tintagels is that guy. He's going to say, "My apologies, I have never met a Narake face to face. Or at least, not in this incarnation."
She just ever so slightly inclines her head.
So, how long have you lived here?
I lost count.
There's a nod. I'm curious. You know, of course, that there was a treasure of some repute here. Did you build it, or merely occupy the space that it already occupied?
It is mine.
Oh. Then why is it people know of it? Unless it is that you seek to draw them here, lure them, as it were?
There is a very faint smile. And then say, even the best kept secret will eventually be found out, and from there, it spreads like a disease.
He'll nod. Question, Kim. Is she beautiful?
Fuck yeah.
Is she beautiful in a Tintagels type kind of way or Karina's kind of way?
She's a child of Kali, Tim. It's a Karina kind of way.
Bitchin'.
I mean, okay, it's very odd. Because on one hand, she is covered in fucking Sanskrit battle sigils. Because she's fucking pissed. And then on the other hand, she's also rather elegant. It's a very odd mix of kind of column A, column B. Like, she could fucking turn up. Then on the other hand, she could probably go take a waltz.
On that note, Tintagel is going to...
What,
Tim,
Tim?
you said... Oh, sorry. Tim, you go.
I just made a stupid joke about she should totes meet Samira.
That would end in silly
Oh my
ways.
god, Holly is like half a fucking... Oh god, yeah, that would be funny as fuck. Anyway,
Hey Kim, you've said my magic words.
You did. Oh.
Tintagel is going to bow, and he's going to say, "Since we are your guests, I ponder something. You are exceptionally lovely. Would it be entirely untoward to ask you to dance?"
Okay. We'll kind of think about that for a moment. And then she'll extend a hand towards Tintagel in that kind of, that very graceful kind of, take my hand and we shall dance until, the moonlight. Me, me, me.
Okay, Kim, I've got to do a cantrip.
Oh.
I'm going to use. No, it's pretty cool. I'm going to use Oniromancy to summon the band to play the music for us to dance.
Walt walt.
Mm.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no. She's a
God.
Naraka?
Yeah, because Austin knows.
Oh fuck.
To be fair, if I have enough successes on my remembrance, no, that's a really bad idea. Austin, why is that a really bad idea?
Is she... Are you taking the music from her dreams?
No.
No, not... Okay. Evan, roll your intellect remembrance again.
I will do the thing. Kim, is this worth the spending of willpower? I think it is.
Yes.
Gonna spend that willpower. That sweet, sweet willpower.
Oh no.
So about those drums of war.
He has one success, I guess, with the willpower, and he did get 4 successes on the previous roll.
Okay.
If you want to make mind, whatever you want to roll it, Kim.
Okay, so
about those drums of war.
no, because
I hear Tim, and I know what's going through his head.
oh, sorry.
yeah, this Tim. I'm assuming Tim is reading over the Narake section in C20, right?
No, I didn't want to. That would not be kosher. However, I know what their old second edition rules were. They were pretty bad. Spend the glamour gain another fucking limb.
Oh, they still got that, to be fair.
Oh god, fuck that.
Not just an extra limb, extra limbs.
Nah.
Okay. Tintagel can't pinpoint it, but he gets kind of like this slight tingling in like the back of his mind, which kind of rings out as not really sure it would be too much of a good idea to have music playing. He doesn't really know why. It's just a little tingle. Tingle-tangle.
Tintagel will look down into her eyes. Is he taller than her, or is she taller than him?
She's fucking taller.
Beg your pardon?
She's taller.
Okay. He will look up in that case. How tall is she?
She's about 6'2".
Okay, yeah, Tintagel's about 6 foot. She will ask, would you care to select the music, or should I?
I would prefer there be no music.
She will say, in that case, all we need is the rhythm of our heartbeats.
Something I am rather familiar to dancing to.
I have no doubt. Am I literally dancing with the enemy?
I mean...
I feel like this should be a thing.
I mean, like, if you want to take her, like, if you want to view her in an enemy kind of way, but I mean, to be fair, she's been rather cordial, except to people who've pissed her off.
I was going to say a bit about Tintagel views Thalane as people, so yeah.
I mean, that's kind of I mean, that's like saying, you know, there are hollow ones, then there are Nafandi.
Kim made the ruling earlier that we do not necessarily view them immediately as the enemy.
Because I don't know, I was reading over them in C20, and like it was rather odd because it simply said that they were the direct descendants of the Fomorian and the Tuatha. Because it did add and the Tuatha.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, Kim. Does his specialty, because I'm going to roll dice for this, does his specialty in nimble, or it's either nimble or, hang on, what is his dexterity specialty?
I don't know. It's weird, guys. I'm going to have to read a little bit more on Adheen before I give, like, a really big official ruling. For right now, let's just put it, y'all are under her hospitality, except for the 2 people who pissed her the fuck off, who might have their heads chopped off soon.
That's fine.
PM.
Alright, it is past 11. I cannot stay up any longer.
Night, Austin.
I am at the edge of
Glory?
my medication.
Yeah, that's legit, dude.
I've been fighting it for about 45 minutes.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Sleep well, dude.
If somebody could give me the rundown in a message, but after the scene ends, so I can get it come AM.
I'll send it to you when the scene's done.
All right. So if shit goes shitty, assume I will Oaken Shield at. I'm just gonna state my dice pools. I
got your sheet, dude. It's all good.
assume Oaken Shield, and run away, brave Sir Robin. Like I will find fucking things to act like coconuts to brave Sir Robin. They bravely ran away. And that will be my bunk to get us Oaken Shield while we get foe.
Got you, dude.
Other things will be throwing the Dolrum under the bus for refusing hospitality. He was the one in charge. He refused the gift. I ran away because I felt I invaded privacy. That's about all I got. Because brain is shutting down rapidly.
I got you.
It's all good. It's all golden. And tomorrow, because like he promised, we will do a scene tomorrow after you get off work, and Tintagel will knight you.
Groovy. I got you what you wanted for. Awesome. Also,
Yeah.
I need to make rolls tomorrow for my mage.
No worries. Go to sleep, buddy.
All right. Night.
Good night.
Kim, does his dexterity specialty in precise count? If you've ever been dancing, it is a very precise thing.
I don't dance, but I can assume that it is very precise. Very precise.
So
like,
he has 6 successes as he dances with her.
And she keeps up rather well. And they dance. And they dance, and they dance. Yes.
And the cats? Are the kitty cats?
And they dance. As
When they're done, let's do it. Oh, sorry, continue.
Yeah. Tim, as they're dancing, go ahead, roll me perk alert.
Ooey.
Ness. Alertness. Like hotness, but you alert.
Tim, why is it always you and I, Tim, having wacky chasing adventures when everyone else has gone to bed?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's all fucking crazy.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, Karina's trying really hard to be like, you're married, 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 you're married.
That doesn't mean he can't dance.
No, Karina's doing that because Karina had half a mind to just be like, I'll just speak your language, remove shit.
I thought you were saying Tintagel was married, and I was just like, technically.
I mean, like, how many of, I don't think either of us would turn that down.
Tintagel could only do it as part of a threesome.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we weren't married, like, we'd immediately be like, yes. Oh, by the way, 3 successes. I'm sorry.
Okay. Karina, as they're, you're kind of watching them dancing, as, you're just kind of like, whatever. From the mouth of, from inside of the little layer, you hear sliding. Kind of like, okay, you probably have never heard of it, but like, you'll hear the thump, 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 slide, thump, thump, slide. Almost like a gigantic lizard moving inside of the layer. Doesn't seem threatening. It's just you hear something down in there. So they're like giant lizard slithering.
Okay. Karina's just like, okay, then that is, I've heard of them. Alrighty.
Tintagel's probably going to do the because we both got a crap load of successes. He's probably going to finish the dance as some kind of very energetic thing, like where he'll throw her up in the air and catch her, and then finish on that kind of note.
Mm-hmm.
You dance exquisitely.
As do you.
Now then, he will he will walk over and he'll knock back another shot of his whiskey. He'll offer her another shot if she wants and be like, eh?
She'll take it.
He will pour her another shot. He'll also pour Karina a shot if Karina wants one. Be like, eh?
Yeah, Karina needs a drink to remember that she's asexual and married.
I mean, yeah. No, Karina's not asexual. Karina just looks down and goes, why aren't you a penis?
No. Yeah. But she's also asexual.
Okay, that's fair. Ace as fuck.
She looks down and she's like, why aren't you a penis?
He will kiss her hand for the record as they politely, as they cease and as he hands her the drink. Now, see, there's no reason we can't be polite and civil. As I says, by the way, as we've been polite and as we've been having fun, basically, has the fire around her kind of started to die down?
Yes.
I can't suppose that you get much good company out this way.
Not particularly. Just those who wish to take from me what is mine.
I can understand that. However, I've got a question I've got 2 questions for you. One, I'm going to assume that your basilisk, he'll denote the cave, but he won't look into it. Was that here before you were?
No.
I'd assumed it was. Because I don't think that you're the kind of person who just has real interest in the petrification of random people.
She will She will. It's what you can assume to be a shrug.
Mhm.
And she'll say, "Slightly. It is not that I have much interest. It is more that I would rather leave warning signs for those who wish to come and steal from me. And he is more than willing."
He will contemplate and he'll say, "May I be honest with you?"
Sure.
He will kind of, he'll brush himself down and he'll put his hip flask and his glasses away in his little knapsack. He'll also offer her a candy bar. You're like, huh?
She won't take it.
Okay. He'll offer Karina a candy bar. Huh? Huh?
What kind of candy bar is it?
Trying to think what it would be. An Irish candy bar. It's going to be a crunchy. Have you ever had a crunchy?
No, what is that?
It's chocolate covered honeycomb.
No, wait a minute.
They're pretty delicious. I like them, but
She's definitely gonna take it
there we go.
because it's apparently one of her favorite candies. No,
Why is that? Oh, you roll the dice, don't you?
yeah,
So I'll just be like, here. But no, he's going to kind of throw himself down and he's going to sit with his back resting against a stone tree. He's going to say, look, I'm going to level with you. You seem like a perfectly reasonable person. And I am sorry for who I will lovingly refer to from now on as Tweedledee and Tweedlefuckwit. But because this treasure is here, you're always going to have people knocking on your door. And ultimately, curiosity has proven to be more of an incentive than a deterrent. I mean, I'm quite happy to march back into the changeling market and inform them the treasure has been found. Thus, people will stop being interested. And you can live in peace. I sense that's what you want. With obviously the occasional interregnum for excellent dancing and pleasant conversation.
They will shrug again and say, "Frankly, I do not mind, as it also allows the basilisk to do what it wishes when they wander in." Most of the time I do not deal with any stray Cathane. The basilisk does.
Well, very calmly once again he will say, I understand this. I genuinely do. If you do not mind my asking, what is this treasure, this destiny?
It is just blah 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 blah. Okay, Kim. It is a stone which allows me to bless or curse those who I wish.
It is a what, sorry, Kim?
It is a stone that allows me to bless or curse those who I wish.
He's gonna let his eyes drift over her. Is she wearing any obvious stones on her person, like a necklace or anything?
Nope.
Those stone statues yonder, including the giant, how long have they stood there? Most of them, anyway.
Some of them are young. Most of them are older.
There's a nod, and he'll say, "What price do you set?"
None.
There must be something you desire.
Oh no. Okay, so this is what we're fucking doing today. Okay. So,
I kicked another adheen thing I didn't know existed.
huh?
I just kicked another adheen thing I didn't know existed.
No, it's coming down to the point of, would she be like, yeah, I'll do it if you bring me like the two heads of the chuckle fucks, or would she just be like, I could also just do it myself for free and keep my garden? So she's kind of thinking right now.
Like, I'll do what you ask if you have sex with me.
God damn it, Karina. Your ace is fuck. Accept it. Move on.
She's sex positive. She could be sex positive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, though, she realized she could also just kind of look at Karina and then motion to the layer, and Karina would probably be like, yes. So.
No, she wouldn't because she's married.
Okay.
She's married.
I like how you have to say this repeatedly, almost like a mantra to remind yourself.
She's married.
I know you're telling us, but I think at this point it's more of just,
No, Kim, he's telling himself verbally.
Married.
Repeatedly.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This was Samira. Samira would just have her shirt off already.
Which one of the watches that likes Pornhub and which doesn't like Pornhub?
Okay, Goon Samira likes Pornhub and isn't ashamed about it. Regular Samira likes Pornhub and is ashamed of it.
All right. But hey, yo, Kim, if you want to set the price as 2 heads of chuckle fucks, I mean...
on one. Oh, jeez. So she really likes her garden. And she'll simply say, anything which I desire, I could take for myself. I've rather become attached to my garden.
As I've said, it is your garden. I merely asked.
Why do you wish to free them?
I beg your pardon?
Why do you wish to free them?
Do you have any idea how rare a kith giants have become?
She'll give him like the most dead ass fucking stare. Just kind of say, no, I don't really leave my domain.
Well, they've become increasingly rare, and they make some truly beautiful things. But not only that, I don't believe that any being should have to exist as stone. It's like an eternal hibernation of self, where you can't feel the beating of your own heart, your inner drum. It's terrible.
They do not feel it. They do not know what is happening to them.
He'll look at her, and he'll say, ponder for a second. your very being ceasing to be yours, that you are not dead, you're not granted the ability to move on to whatever the next life holds. You are simply... Sleep is not the right word, for you cannot dream. You are essentially held in the nothing, in that grip where there is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday, there is only the moment, and there is only darkness in that moment. I think that sounds like a fate worse than death.
Perhaps to some, but at the same time, they are not dead, and perhaps one day could come out of that, and then not know what happened.
And that is what I'm asking for. The opportunity to set them free.
But then I would lose my garden.
Do you value them as statues? I will carve you a statue for each one. They will be indeterminable, indivisible. They will look just as they are.
But they will not be them.
No.
They will not have stories.
But because you let them free, they're able to continue to write their stories. Because you keep them here, bound in flesh of stone, their stories are over until it is time for the hero to come and save them.
Tim, I got a question.
Huh?
Okay, as a question. I actually have a couple questions. So is Karina sitting down?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Has she at least at some point during this whole interaction looked somewhat interested in the Naraka?
Interested in what way?
Okay, maybe not so interested, but at least like a passing kind of interest in, the kind of if I wasn't married kind of way.
I mean, probably.
Okay. So she will be thinking, and then she will just casually lean over and lay her head in Karina's lap.
Karina's okay with this.
And then she will say to Tintagel, she's currently just kind of staring up at the, well, I can't really say a sky, because it's just the tree. And it's stony leaves. So she'll be looking up at that. And she'll say, of course, to Tintagel, yes, but even then, they still have stories. Perhaps not finished stories. But if they are turned and just carved into actual statues, then those statues will have no stories. None that I can listen to.
Kim, I'm going to do something suicidal. It's about that time.
I mean, it ain't about that time. I got my own shit.
Like, nah, bitch, I want to live.
Nah, fam. I got my own ways. I got my own ways to negotiate this. I've been listening.
All right. If this fails, Tim, I will drop the mic. But I think I have something up my sleeve that might work.
Okay, because I got my own shit. So Karina is going to. She has a couple of things. She has a couple of ideas. She'll say.
Okay. Just because of the last statement that was made, I have to do this now, or else it loses its impetus.
Okay.
He's going to look over and he's going to say, "Do you need to hear their stories? Because in many ways, Yes, you are lord of this domain, but it never changes. Do you listen to their stories because you wish you could write more of your own?
If I wished to write more of my own story, I could easily do that. But there are only so many times in which I can replay the same thing over and over again for my own story. For most outcomes are similar to each other, but theirs are not. They come from different walks of life, whereas my walk of life will always be constant.
So it is stories that you wish to hear, yes?
Indeed.
Is this the only way in which you can hear them?
Perhaps.
Because I know of a great many ways to tell stories out there, beyond the mists and in the world of autumn. Even of ways here. My people had skulls that told us the best stories. Karina's just gonna start stroking her hair. Fuck it.
She doesn't seem to mind.
Man, this is always fucking us. It's always one of us.
What you mean?
Yes. I think it's because we have the same kind of mantra when it comes to changeling, in the sense that here are my balls, here is the wall, let the two meet.
I mean.
Oh, but she was saying that, you know, there are ways for one to hear stories. How'd she respond to that?
She's just kind of thoughtfully thinking. And then says, would you then be willing to come and tell stories then?
Must I be stoned to do so?
No. I presume not.
I am not the best storyteller, but I believe I could do my best. How often would you need me?
Hmm. Perhaps once a week then.
If there is such an occasion where I am not able to make it that week, could I send someone in my stead?
If they are not rude, or if they are, then I will kill them.
I will quite happily, in the event Baroness Stormfury cannot, come and tell you stories, or perhaps share another dance.
She nods.
Out of character, and they should be real helpful right about now.
I mean, technically there is
There is an issue. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
there is technically one PC issue. Yes.
Yo, I got some ideas though.
Who is an issue PC?
Matt.
The ex-Baroness.
Oh, bother.
Oh shit. Yo, I got some ideas though, and it involves, hey, you want to get some standing bag? Hey, fam, every week.
Oh, bother.
This is an acceptable replacement to my garden, yes. But at the same time, while I am now much more willing to part with my garden, the price for parting with it would be the heads of the Redcap and the Boggin who disrespected me so.
Kim, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sanguine with the fact that I will have to PvP these players?
Well, all right. I have another question because Karina has an idea about this. If you kill someone chimerically, they come back. They just have an extra functionality, and that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Karina will ask just to make sure because she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do that unseelie wording shit because she feels like that's not a good idea right now. Because so far this lady's been pretty scared of agreements and shit. So Karina will say that. Would you be accepting of the fact that they would be coming back in one way or another?
So what? They could potentially disrespect me again.
It is the way that we work. Well, they work.
Something I have never been able to understand. Your courts have always been odd.
Yes. But even if we were to permanently end their lives, they would still come back, even that potential either way. So if we could do this for it, if we could present you their heads, that would be possible. But
I will point out, Tadgel's currently contemplated, no, I'm pretty sure I can end their lives to the point they don't come back.
I mean, we're not trying to do cold iron.
I'll hashtag I completely support cold iron on commoners.
I am so against that.
That banality, though. That banality, though.
Yeah, that is like, Korea's like, nah, fairly about that. Because she's thinking about just chimerically killing these motherfuckers and being like, don't do that again. Consider that your punishment for fucking up in the first damn place.
So they will say, then in that case, I want their heads. But if they come back, ever, to my grove, I will kill them on sight.
Karina looks to Tintagel.
Kim, how bad is it if I pass death judgment on these people?
It's not death judgment if we chimerically kill them in the autumn world and then bring their heads over into the dreaming.
Okay, that is fair.
That's the idea Karina has. The worst that they get out of it is a point of permanent banality.
Mm-hmm. And it would be like a day or two before they reform.
Yep.
This is why Tintagil's not going to be the one to kill them, but c'est la vie.
We also have to go up to them and tell them that they kind of have to do this.
Be like, look, you can either be chimerically killed and then come back in like a day or two, or, I mean, pretty sure she would just come and kill you and you're not coming back.
Yeah, like Karina will be like, look. Oh, Karina will look over to Tintagil.
Tintagil will nod, and he will say, "This is acceptable." Do you wish me to also inform the changeling market that there is no more treasure here?
She will kind of make that dismissive kind of hand wave. She'll just say, I frankly don't care. If you wish to, that is fine. If you don't, and they come here, they will end up like the others.
Very well, then. On this more personal note, I have a request to make.
And this is?
Just simply that I see your beautiful cascading gold waterfall, and I wondered if I might take some of the gold for myself for a project I'm working on.
Give me a moment. I wish to read something.
Okay. It would help, Kim. I think of you as a Muppet.
I'm not a Muppet.
You could be. You could be Kermit.
I want to be a Muppet.
Oh my god, yes.
What was the oh my god yes for?
Tim, you can't just say that and then not reply.
Hold on.
What?
Alright. Done.
Oh my god, what?
Don't worry about it. You'll
Fuck.
find out when you take your messenger.
I'm curious, what the fuck's happening?
Did you really? Did I mean, anyway, it's not even gonna dignify that with a response to him.
What happened? Continue.
There was a change of nicknames, and
Oh, in which chat?
just PMs between myself and Tim.
Oh, okay.
Tim, it is not. It is not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it. Can't stand you. Lucky I love you. Anyway. Well, look, to Tintagel. And she'll say, she'll kind of look him up and down. And then say, if you wish for some of my gold, then I would request that every 3 moons you come and spend a night with me. A night and a day.
Define and he will say, define spend a night.
Kind of blinks, just kind of thinking like, how the fuck am I supposed to make that any clearer? And she'll say, you being here in my domain for a night and a day. So that way we may speak and dance. And anything else that just so happens to happen.
I am rather happily married, but I'm more than happy to be your friend and come here as such.
Tim, how long have you been waiting to use that?
I just found this. I found this literally just now.
Oh God, what's he found now?
It's another GIF.
Oh Jesus. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna look this up now. It's loading.
She'll simply say, I do not care for you in that manner which would take over any kind of wifely duty.
The fuck? Why is the Tim context?
Stay thirsty.
Very well. I will happily, once every 3 moons, come and spend an evening with you.
She nods her head. Why do you need my gold?
Oh, Kim. Kimmity, Kim, Kim, Kim. Kimmity, Kim, Kim, Kimmity. Oh, shit nuggets. Kim, you know how Solon wanted to make basically the same item I did?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean he has to get basically the same stuff I did?
He hasn't asked me the materials, and if he did, I can't remember.
Well, basically, if we want to put the same, if we want to make an item that has the same effect, I would assume that they would require the same treasure components. Yes.
The thing is you want to make a mirror similar to, the mirror on the wall, which was like a golden mirror. Meanwhile, he wants to make a silver bowl, which gold would not be a requirement.
Oh, thank God! I was going to say because if not, if you made the gold of the ancient pouring on the masses like one of the requirements, he's fucked.
Yes, because if he ever sets foot here again, she will unmercilessly kill him.
He will answer and he will say, "I am attempting to make a magic mirror."
Curious. For what purpose?
A gift for my wife. She worries about me when I'm not there, so it will enable her to always know where I am.
How sweet.
Hmm.
And how much would you require?
Tintagel will give the amount required. He'll say, I will even quite happily replace it with chimerical gold from my own reserves. It's just a matter of the magical portents of it being important. So if it's a matter of the gold being taken, I will replace the volume of gold in gold coins or bars.
That will not be necessary, for they never run dry.
As you say.
And she will get up, head into her home, the lair. A few moments will pass, and then she will walk back out with a jar. A rather large jar shape. And will dip it into the pool and close it. Then offer it to Tintagel.
He will happily nod and take the bowl, a smile on his face, and he will say, I thank you.
She nods her head.
Kim, as Evan has completely forgotten, he now has the gold he requires. What are the other two items?
Shit, why are you asking me like I know this shit? Polish created by an old hermit, and a shifting stone given by those whose grace is the sea.
I have to find some shoe polish from from a homeless guy, and something from the merfolk. We can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Tim, we need a scene with him and Solon to say, we're going to politely murder you.
I mean,
Tintagel will kind of get up and he'll brush himself off and he'll say, if you wish, he'll actually extend his hand because he's like that. He'll say, if you wish, myself and Lady Stormfury need to return to my home, which is not terrifically far from here, for dinner. You are free to join us if you would wish.
given what I am not welcome in many places. So, unfortunately, I will have to decline your offer.
He will say, you are welcome in mine. As you have shown me your hospitality, I must show you mine.
Oh my god, you're literally inviting an Adheen over for dinner.
Yes. Well, as I say, Tintagel has a humanistic perspective. He doesn't view people as monsters just because people think they're monsters. She hasn't acted like a monster.
You haven't seen her act like one.
That's because we've been polite.
I mean, sure enough. Sure enough. So, she'll just kind of think for a moment. And then we'll nod her head. That leads to the question, though. Is your home in the dreaming or the grey world?
Tintagel's home is in the dreaming, so he'll say, the dreaming.
She will nod her head.
He'll snap his fingers, and he'll say, as a matter of fact, why don't I bring my home to you?
She is kind of thinking that over. I suppose that would be up to you.
I will bring my home to the outer edges of your domain, so you need only step inside, and you will be under my hospitality.
She nods her head, and then will say, I expect you shall be gone after dinner is over. Or at least you're home.
It will be gone.
She nods her head.
All right. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom, but I think that we're probably at the end of this scene. Yes?
Yes, indeed.
All right, so I'm going to just get to the bathroom.
Yep. Is there anything else Karina wanted?
So we have at this point successfully negotiated the release of the prisoners, right? For lack of a better term.
Yes.
Karina's question will be, she'll ask, because no one's really asked this. How do we revert them from their stone form?
I will take care of that. Do not worry.
Fair enough. That was it. She just wanted to make sure there wasn't no bullshit. Of like, hey, so you have these statues, so yeah.
Okay. Then I think we can end it there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin.